Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. It's going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming News, breaking down a massive patch for Elden Ring. We actually changed our subject for today. We usually don't do that for patches if they're minor, but this one was absolutely huge. I'm going to do a very quick summary at the beginning here, and then we're going to read through everything. So if you're looking for a breakdown and sort of chopping this up, this is a live stream that you've clicked on. You may be watching the past broadcast. So make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my live streams. If you watch my VODs, love my channel, and help support it, make sure and check your subscription feed as well as my channel every day. Sometimes my live streams are not showing up in recommended. YouTube's making some changes, so be sure to check that. Also, considering using all the links below, we are adding members only content, but it's extra content. We're not taking away content. An extra stream on Thursday and Friday nights for members only, and this week is community game night. This is a Reforge update. Elden Ring has pushed out probably its largest patch yet, aiming at virtually everything in the game that you could possibly use with buffs, nerfs, and tweaks. I'm going to give you a quick flyover snapshot highlighting the things that I think are important. If you want to check out the full scope of the patch notes, either check out my stream over on Reforge Gaming where I read through all of it during my live stream, or you can check out the patch notes on Elden Ring site or Reddit. As always, hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss these videos. So the theme of this patch is buffs and nerfs, which is just massive. Now, one of the things I want to snapshot right away, I was really excited to see because I highlighted this in my endgame criticism. I highlighted it in some of my criticism about the balance. They are increasing Colossal Sword and Colossal Weapon attack speed and lowering their recovery time. Jump attack is not included in this, but this is incredibly helpful. This was one of the things I said. Late game, the rhythm of the game doesn't seem to line up with Colossal Swords and Colossal Weapons. Their attack speed and really recovery time led to a lot of trading. They also are increasing two-handed attack damage of Colossal Swords and Colossal Weapons. Again, they're not messing with jump attack. They increase physical block rate and guard boost of Colossal Swords, Weapons, Great Swords, Great Hammers, Great Axe, Great Spear, and Halberd weapon classes. So that's a quick snapshot. There are tons of weapons that are getting tweaked and tons of great changes, and this on the front end had me very excited. I'm like, this is one of the primary problems with the game is you can't use some of these larger weapons. Also, magic is getting a ton of love. If you like to cast, if you're big on the magic, okay, there was a huge focus from where I could see scrolling through quickly on recovery time getting faster and increasing casting speed while also lowering FP costs. Now, this is not universal, but I saw that listed numerous times, okay, numerous times. A really big focus on recovery being faster, casting speed being faster, and lowering that FP cost. Again, I can't go through everything. It was unbelievable how many changes they specifically made to Magic. If you really are big into Magic, you're going to want to check these patch notes. It might actually change your loadout or make you try something that you previously thought was pretty bad. That was one of the things that I struggled with Magic. Some of it felt kind of slow and clunky. It was hard to weave into the fights. Again, I think people are going to say, oh, they're making Magic easy. Magic was already easy. The issue I had with it was it just didn't, again, seem to line up with combat rhythm, even in the Margit fight. It just seemed difficult to do some basic casting here and there with the rhythm of fights, and that's very early in the game. I'm not actually saying there's anything wrong with the Margit fight, but I think that's indicative that there was a bit of a dissonance in the rhythm. They also looked at the weapon skills. Many of these weapon skills are being retuned to not be as fast and strong. Now, that's not all of them, but I did see some of these weapon skills being reined in and sort of pushed back. I don't necessarily know what the impetus of that is. Maybe because of all the changes they're making to some of the larger weapons and some of the slower weapons, as well as magic. They're like, listen, weapon skills are going to need reined in a little bit. Some of them are a little wild. Now, some were being made better with quicker recovery. Again, the list was unbelievable. It was super long. In addition to all of these changes to weapon skills, to magic, to weapons themselves, they also had a whole host of bug fixes that they are addressing. Hopefully, over time, they do more than just fix bugs. They start looking at some of the performance issues. I still am am very hesitant to start a save on PS5. I know people say it runs fine, but I was still getting periodic frame hitches, and I don't ever get that when I run the PS4 version on the PS5. Overall, it's great to see a massive patch this far out. Hopefully that means a DLC announcement is around the corner and they're getting ready for that and gearing up for that. As always, if you like these Reforge updates, check out Reforge Gaming, where I stream live every day, and over here on the updates channel, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you guys right now. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Unfortunately, I could not trudge forward with what we had planned. We will still be talking about Xbox adding advertisements to your games. That'll be our second show of the day. Halo Battle Royale is going to get bumped to the next day. We've already kind of covered that, but I wanted to come over all the great new details coming out from leaks and other sources. I couldn't sit on this. I was scrolling through the patch notes and I was like, oh my gosh, what did they do? I was like, if we wait till Friday, no one's going to care. We got to cover this today. So I really hope you guys are okay with that shift. I thought ads in Halo would be a hilarious topic to complain about, but I understand. That'll be our second show of the day. We are going to still cover that. I worked really hard to put the McDonald's logo on Master Chief's visor. I thought that was very fun. And we're going to start maybe using those community posts to let you guys know what's coming the next day, since we're dealing with, again, stuff not showing up in people's feeds. We actually think we figured it out. It's comforting to know what's going on, even though we can't fix it. YouTube has added new features to the back end to help us know what our audience is interested in, and it has to do with what people search for. Unfortunately, the one channel that got that is like our smallest channel, and that channel's doing just fine. It's still getting great search results. On all of my other channels, we're getting really bad search results because until you get that feature, it seems to be kind of breaking your channel. So we sort of figured out why numbers have been so low. It's not our fault. We did some research. We looked into this. We're just going to be in a holding pattern until we get that feature and start showing up in search results again. We're getting suggested and recommended, but you need that alongside search. And unfortunately, we're not showing up in search. So Elden Ring again. We were not going to cover Elden Ring until Friday, but they literally dropped a patch the size of War and Peace. Like, the patch notes are unbelievable. I just simply couldn't sit on it. So second show today, we will be talking about our planned episode on Microsoft putting ads in games. But we had to lead with this. It's massive. I haven't even looked through I haven't even combed through all of them. I had to quickly snapshot it and look at it. And obviously, the first thing I saw, I was like, I was right. I told people that those big swords weren't working properly and that the recovery time was terrible and that it ruined a lot of that late game fights. I was like, I told people that. And they have addressed that as one of the many things that they have addressed. What's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. What's on Reforge Radio? There's a psychologist out in LA who is questioning and thinking, she thinks that we are going too far with children transitioning, and yeah, it's a doozy. She's got some great argumentation and results, and I actually am going to make some predictions about there will be two camps that form around that issue, and it's not going to be good, but it's coming. Colossal weapons are different from what you used. Radon swords aren't considered colossal? What are they considered? Let me pull up the patch notes so we can read them in their entirety. Because there was a Reddit post that had like a really good list. Here we go. This is Elden Ring patch notes 1.04. 1.04. Let's get these pulled up here. And I'm gonna have to. I can't get this to look dark. Let me see if I can turn on dark mode and get this to not. No, dark mode's on. I can't get Reddit to not look bad. Radons are colossal. Yeah, colossal. Radon swords was literally where my entire criticism came from. I was like, I can't use these anymore. All I'm doing is trading. I was constantly telling people, I was like, I have no damage windows. Like, I have nothing. Like, it was terrible. So yeah, the Radon swords was when that criticism started. I received my coffee order yesterday, and the hype is real. Thank your kids for me for the note. Oh, you are welcome. Guys, don't forget, man, the the coffee is a huge and easy way to support the channel. What do you drink every morning for your coffee? If you drink, some brand name stuff out there, I think our coffee holds up. So you're a coffee drinker, check out Rageless Roast, use that coffee command, or go to ragelessroast.com. And you can use the link below as well. We are also, as I said, I know people don't like members-only content, but we are going to start doing more members-only content, but it's all extra. Like Thursday afternoon, that's an extra stream. It's not taking away from what we're already doing, and Friday night's an extra stream. So don't forget this Friday is community game night, all right? Get Fortnite installed and updated, and we're going to have some drinks and laughs. Consider clicking join. $5 a month gets you into all the extra stuff. So let's take a look at this here. Let's take a look at this here. That's the wrong capture card. Hang on just a second, and then I'll move myself over to this side. Okay? All right. So Wheezy, I moved to dual katanas because of my frustration with the Radon swords. So my entire reasoning, the Radon swords were amazing, and then all of a sudden something happened, like the endgame combat rhythm shifted on me, and I kept telling people, I was like, the recovery window is awful. I'm constantly trading, and I constantly miss my damage opportunities because of it. Maybe I just thought hearing somebody kind of saying the game is too easy that buffs wouldn't be plentiful. Well, the people that saying the game are too easy are, that's their opinion. That doesn't mean that that's correct. That explains, says Andrew, why I'm able to kill enemies in Dragon Hollow with Colossal Sword I got from Godric Soldier in the beginning area. Is there anything in the notes on carrying retaliation? Yeah, I believe there is. Let's read through here. So, these are the major changes included in the Elden Ring patch 1.04. So, balance adjustments. I'm just going to highlight this section here. That's what I'm going to read first. Increased Colossal Swords or Colossal Weapons attack speed and lowered their recovery time, jump attack not included. Increased the two-handed attack damage of Colossal Swords or Colossal Weapons, jump attack not included. Increased physical block rate and guard boost of the Colossal Sword, Colossal Weapons, Great Sword, Great Hammer, Great Axe, Great Spear, and Halberd weapon classes. And then increase the damage of Grafted Blade Greatsword, increase the damage of Devourer's Scepter, decrease the scaling of status effect buildup from spells and incantations of Albinaric Staff and Dragon Communion Seal, decrease the effect of Great Shield Talisman for weapons with high block rate, shortened the length of the Madness Afflicted animation, lowered the speed of Madness build-up recovery, slightly increased FP and stamina growth rate at lower levels. Players will need to perform any of the following actions for the changes to be reflected. This is required only once. New characters created after this update will not require any action. IGN has dark mode. Yeah, this is just killing my eyes. Yeah, let me go to IGN. Hang on. This white is just, it's awful. It reflects in my glasses and it's just freaking blinding. Okay. Let me scroll down here. There we go. And let's go back over here. And then we can make this a little bit bigger since it's nice and clean. There we go. Well, let's go with the column look. Okay, so we just read this balancing stuff, and then the level up, activate Godric's Great Rune, re-equipping any equipment, which grants bonus stat to either strength, dexterity, vigor, endurance, or intelligence. So you need to re-equip that stuff if you want that stuff to work. Other enemy and weapon balance changes. So here's all the sorcery incantation stuff, and this might make people think that, oh my gosh, they're making magic even stronger. This is crazy, right? Yeah, I love that line, Wheezy. We're going to cover that this afternoon. That is a hilarious line about the advertisements in games. Yes, we will be covering that this afternoon. If you're new and enjoying the show, smash the like button, hit subscribe. We cover a whole host of gaming news here, and we do try to play Elden Ring regularly, especially on Friday. We dub it From Friday. We did it. We got a story mode. What? I know I was anticipating the From answers to player wants and needs. I would have guessed nerfs, not buffs, for the player, I mean. Oh, got it. Okay, so here's upward adjustments. Crystal Barrage, they increase cast speed and decreased recovery time. Gavel of Haima, they increase cast speed and decreased recovery time. It allows the caster to more easily withstand enemies' attack while casting. Shatter Earth, they increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. It allows the caster to more easily withstand enemies' attack while casting. So you're seeing here, the reasoning is pretty consistent, right? The reasoning's pretty consistent that they are attempting to give you this ability to withstand enemy attacks while casting, all right? Rock Blaster, they decrease recovery time. It allows you to more easily withstand enemy attacks while casting. Thop's Barrier, increased area of effect and slightly increased effect duration. Renala's Full Moon, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. So that one actually, the cast speed, they're doing this on so many of these. Ronnie's Dark Moon, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. As if there's a theme coming out here, right? Increased casting speed at lower dexterity for the Carrion Greatsword. Magma Shot, decreased FP cost and increased casting speed. This is the increased casting speed there. So, wait. Hang on. Yeah, these are all increased and decreased. Yeah, increase and decrease. I'm reading it properly. Okay. Rolling Magma, increased cast speed and decreased time until the magma explodes. Sorry, I'm moving and I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Gelmir's Fury, slightly decrease the random nature of projectiles range and increase the damage of lava pool, increase the hitbox. Rykard's Rancor, decreased FP cost. Oracle Bubbles, increase the cast speed and decreased recovery time. Yo, Mick D09 with 4 months of membership. Welcome back in. Enjoy the badge and emotes and enjoy the extra content. If you guys have never done a membership on YouTube before, I know it's like a newer thing and a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people are more like, listen, man, I got YouTube Premium and I watch the ads that supports. We don't really run ads, okay? We're a live stream, so the memberships are huge. So if you've ever done it, $5 a month, it gets you extra content, it gets you badge and emotes. So thanks to everybody that does that. Consider doing it. We're offering extra content here and on radio. If you're not a member, I don't want you to feel like that means you have to stop watching. Like, these are literally extra streams and pieces of content that we're uploading. It's stuff that I wasn't doing previously, right? Please tell me they finally added nunchucks. No, there's no nunchucks. These casting speed buffs were needed for PvP as it took too long and were not viable. That's what Saxboy is saying. So some context here from the community. These changes to the casting speed and recovery time seems to be targeted at PvP, at least in part. Darth Nihilist 91 with 5 months of a membership renewal. Thank you so much. Keeping the membership, train up at the top of the chat going. He makes it so hard. We don't run ads. We're not on Game Pass. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Great Oracular Bubble, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Briars of Sin, decreased recovery time, increased blood loss buildup on enemy. East Coast Overlord with a $5 tip. This is green, so it counts as membership. Yeah, sure, you can do a tip instead. That's great. This is the problem with games today. Stop trying to please everyone because it will never happen. I'm glad I finished this game when it first released. That's an interesting perspective when you see these many changes. You think these many changes are just primarily aimed at pleasing everyone, or do you think they're attempting to tweak and balance the game to make it run better, right? To be, you know what I mean? You were second in my feed today. We've actually discovered it's a combination of not being in your feeds, but we're not in your feed because they broke search. Like, some channels just aren't showing up in search results. We are one of those unfortunate channels right now. It is getting fixed, but until it is fixed, we are going to have a really hard time generating, like, good results every day. Explosive Ghost Flame, decreased FP cost and recovery time. To be a summon, they increase damage and cast speed. Aspects of the Crucible, Tail, they decreased FP and stamina cost. Aspects of the Crucible Horns, they decreased FP and stamina cost, increased cast speed, increased the distance traveled when not charged, and made it easier to cause enemies to flinch when charged, right? Elden Stars, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Black Blade, decreased stamina consumption and increased recovery time. I feel like they could have just listed a whole bunch of these and been like, these are all the ones where we made their casting speed faster and decreased recovery time, right? Now, when they say increased casting speed, that means it's faster, right? I'm assuming that's how we're supposed to read that. Because if you increase a car's speed, it gets faster, and then decreasing recovery time. Like, this is 100% focused on making the thing faster at both levels, right? Yes, faster. Okay. I wanted to make sure. I was like, I'm reading all these patch notes. If I'm reading them wrong, then I'm going to feel like a massive dum-dum. Okay. It's good to know I'm not stupid. That's always a good thing to feel in the morning. Black Blade. Decreased stamina consumption and decreased recovery time. Discus of Light. Decreased FP cost. Increased damage and cast speed. Triple Rings of Light. Increased damage. Radagon's Rings of Light, decreased FP cost, increased damage and cast speed, decreased recovery time. Lightning Strike, decreased stamina cost, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Honed Bolt, I mean, they touched everything. Jiminy Christmas. Eugene says, if you go back and look at Dark Souls 3, they did similar things. Yeah, if people think this is abnormal, this is not abnormal at all. Honed Bolt, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear, decreased FP and stamina cost, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time, allowing caster to more easily withstand enemy attacks while casting. Yeah, some of this that doesn't need copy-pasted every time. YouTube broke something. You weren't in my feed this morning. Yeah, it seems like it's fixing for some and not fixing for others, Metasbo. That's why I keep telling people, don't just check your feed, check your subscription list and check my channel, because YouTube is messing with something. You know what I mean? We haven't proved it conclusively yet, Lono. This is only circumstantial evidence that you aren't stupid. Thank you, resident lawyer, to make sure we don't get ahead of ourselves. Ancient Dragons, Lightning Strike, decreased recovery time. Lanciac's Glaive, decreased FP and stamina cost, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. We know why they're doing that. That reasoning doesn't need read every time, allowing the caster to withstand, right? Fortisac's Lightning Spear, decreased FP and stamina cost, increased casting speed and decreased recovery time. Same reasoning giving here about allowing the caster, and the next one says the same thing. Frozen Lightning Spear, decreased stamina cost, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Death Lightning, decreased FP cost, increased the duration of death accumulating smoke. Oh, Flame, they increase the damage. Giant's Flame, take thee, they decrease the stamina cost. Flame of the Fell God, they decrease FP cost and they increase damage. Whirl of Flame, they increase damage and decreased recovery time. Burn O Flame, they increase cast speed and decreased recovery time. I mean, they basically did this. It seems like they did this to all, right? What was your issue with the magic bill you tried? Will this help with that? So when I tried it, Zubair, I didn't feel like it fit with my playstyle. That was the main problem. But I also felt like the rhythm was off. I don't know if any of this will help, but I do think if the rhythm is off for me as I kind of try to feel my way out with it, and also people are being frustrated by it in PvP, it makes sense to adjust it. Yo, a $50 tip from the Blindfold Truth. That is so generous. I missed the member streams as well as yesterday, so here's an apologetic tip as I sip on the Rageless Roast Dark Roast. I look forward to test out some of these changes, especially colossal buffs by coffee people. Hey, somebody did 2 minutes ago. Our first coffee order of the day, 3 light roasts to YouTube Lurker. 15 bags so far and not one bad cup in the Keurig. Please thank Madam for all her hard work. Yo, YouTube Lurker faithfully ordering that coffee and thanking my wife and kiddos. Listen, if you guys order the coffee, you are supporting basically a small business. It's not a sponsor. My wife and kids bag it up. So use that coffee command or the link in the description below. We greatly appreciate people saying how much they like it as well. Insomniac Black, the Pokemon cards were delivered to the P.O. Box yesterday. Hope the kiddos get some good pulls out of them. Yo, Insomniac Black, very generous. Thank you for the tip and sending my kids cards. That's amazing. Let's keep reading the changes here. If you're just tuning in, we are combing over the Elden Ring patch. Tons of buffs and nerfs. I mean, it's unbelievable. Magic is much faster now at almost every turn. Black Flame, increased damage and spell, can break enemies' guard more easily. Scouring Black Flame, decreased FP cost and recovery time, increased attack range and area of effect. Black Flame Ritual, reduced FP cost and increased damage. Garank's Beast Claw, increased damage and decreased recovery time. Blood Flame Talons, decreased FP cost and increased cast speed, decreased recovery time. Blood Boon, increased damage, increased cast speed, and decreased effect startup time, decreased recovery time. I can't believe they did literally like every magic spell. We're almost to the end of the magic here. Pest Threads, decreased stamina cost. Scarlet Aeonia, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Allows caster to more easily withstand enemy attacks while casting. Endurable Frenzy, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Decrease the random nature of projectiles' range and increased madness buildup on enemies. Inescapable Frenzy, increased casting speed. Placidussax's Ruin, decreased FP, stamina cost, and recovery time. Dragon Claw, excuse me, decreased FP, stamina cost, and recovery time, and made it easier to cause enemies to flinch when charged. Dragon Maw. What about Dragon Paw? Decreased FP, stamina cost, recovery time, and increased cast speed, and made it easier to cause enemies to flinch when charged. Greyol's Roar, decreased FP, stamina cost, and recovery time. If you guys are just tuning in for the patch notes, let me go full screen for a moment and do a little commercial for you. If you've never been here before, hit subscribe and that bell button so you can talk in chat. I'm a safe for work broadcaster. I do a talk show like this Monday through Friday. We do one in the morning and then another show after that. If you are already subbed and you don't see me live any of those days, Monday through Friday, just check your subscription feed and check my channel, all right? YouTube is fiddled with some stuff, and I'm not showing up in your recommended every day, so you got to check those other locations if you're missing my shows, all right? We are going to be talking about Microsoft adding advertisements in games. That's our second show today, and then Halo Infinite Battle Royale details is getting bumped to tomorrow, okay? All right. Upward and downward adjustments. Adula's Moonblade, they decreased the power of single cast and improved performance so that the blades and frost hit more consistently and continuously. Increased cast speed at lower dexterity. Flame Fall Upon Them, they decrease the damage of single cast and improve the performance so that it hits the enemy multiple times, and they decrease the FP cost. Howl of Shabriri, decrease the madness buildup on the enemy, increase the casting speed, and decreased recovery time. Downward adjustments. Swarm of Flies, they decrease blood loss buildup on the enemy. The Flame of Frenzy, they decrease madness buildup on the enemy. And Frenzied Burst, they decrease madness buildup on the enemy. Now they took a lot of the weapon skills and adjusted them as well. That's this next section. Now, Eugene is saying something about it being PvP focused. I don't know why people think this is PvP focused. That was what Saxboy said. And then Chris is saying, Chris Faccio is saying this is obviously PvE focused. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say what the focus is. It seems probably both, but I'm not seeing a lot of PvP argumentation. But it could be multifaceted, right? Okay, these are upward adjustments to weapon skills. Lion's Claw, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Kick, increased cast speed. Horalu's Earthshaker, increased cast speed on follow-up input, decreased recovery time. Troll's Roar, decreased stamina cost, increased cast speed on follow-up input, increased distance traveled. Giant Hunt, they decrease recovery time. They also decrease the recovery time of Storm Assault. Carrion Greatsword, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time, increased the damage when charged, and made it easier to cause enemies to flinch. They did look like the exact same thing here to Carrion Grandeur, increased cast speed, decreased recovery time, increased the damage when charged, and made it easier to cause enemies to flinch. Gravitas, increased the casting speed. Flaming Strike, increased the travel distance of a stepping cleave and a strong attack. Ashen Hollow with a $5 tip. Homesick today. Got no sleep last night. Some major stress. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry that's happening, man. That you're having some stress, you know? See if you can find somebody to talk about it with. That usually takes whatever it is and makes it a lot smaller and more manageable. I'm not saying that'll help, but it might. Let's see. Black Flame Tornado added hitbox to weapon when spinning and added a window to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Lightning Slash increased cast speed, added a hitbox to the stomp animation. Sacred Blade increased cast speed. Sacred Ring of Light increased cast speed. Poisonous Mist increased cast speed. Poison Moth Flight increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Ice Spear added a hitbox to the weapon's spinning animation. Chilling Mist increased cast speed. Assassin's Gambit and Shield Bash both got increased cast speed. And then both Shield Crash and Blade of Gold got decreased stamina cost and increased cast speed, but then Blade of Gold also got decreased recovery time. Blade of Death got cast speed increased, recovery time decreased. Golden Tempering decreased FP cost and increased cast speed, increased effect duration. It's unbelievable. I don't think there's anything they didn't touch. Last Rites and Mists of Slumber, they increased the cast speed. It'd have been great if they grouped these according to what they did, so I could just say, here's everything that got the cast speed increase, instead of having to read. It's so random. It's not even alphabetical. Eokai's Dancing Blade increased travel distance, added a window of roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Unblockable Blade, is that Melania? I'm just kidding. Increased cast speed with the weapon-coated sword. Unblockable Blade. Get it? You get it, chat? Anyway. Alabaster Lord's Pull. Increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Added a window to roll during the attack cancel animation. Establish Order. Decreased recovery time. Increased cast speed to follow up input. Decreased damage. Made it easier to cause enemies to flinch. I tell you what I'm noticing. I'm going to tell you at the end of the patch notes what they're doing. I think I actually know what they're doing because somebody just put it in chat. And I'm telling you, this is a huge answer to so much of what we talked about the other day. So much about what we talked the other day is, I think, related to what they're doing. Moonlight Greatsword. Decreased FP cost, increased cast speed, and decreased recovery time. Increased the frost buildup effect during the skill duration. Wave of Gold. Decreased FP cost, increased cast speed, and decreased recovery time. Wolf's Assault's got the same thing, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. The Queen's Black Flame, increased cast speed, added a window of roll to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Dyna's Finesse and Flowing Form both got decreased stamina cost. Death Flare got increased cast speed. Onyx's Lord's Repulsion increased cast speed and decreased recovery time, added a window to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Magma Guillotine decreased stamina cost, increased cast speed, decreased recovery time to follow up input. Cursed Blood Slice. This is all weapon skills. Increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Ice Lightning Sword increased cast speed, added a hitbox to the stomp animation. If you guys are just tuning in, we cover variety gaming news all throughout the week. We don't just cover Elden Ring. So we are going to be covering Microsoft putting advertisements in your games later. If you like talk shows like Safe for Work talk shows, let me save my place here because we're getting a little long-winded here. If you like talk shows or podcasts, I am Safe for Work. People treat me like video game radio. Make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button. If you don't see my live streams in your recommended feed, always be sure to check your subscriber feed and my channel, okay? We're live Monday through Friday. We do 2 shows a day, and then we head over to my other channel for a 3rd show, all right? If you don't see me in your recommended feed, you want to double check. It doesn't mean I'm not live, all right? YouTube fiddled with some things, and it's messing with that. Ross's Summons, decreased recovery time. I Command Thee Kneel, increased cast speed including the follow-up input, added a window to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Goldbreaker, they decreased the FP cost, increased cast speed, and decreased recovery time. Familial Rancor, added a window of roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Let's see. Nebula, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time with the weapon Bastard Stars. Regal Beastclaw, increased cast speed. Same thing for Devourer of Worlds, increased cast speed. And then both Regal Roar and Spear Call Ritual both had recovery time decreased. Ancient Lightning Spear, decreased FP cost, increased cast speed, allows player to more easily withstand enemies' attack while casting. And it looks like they did the same thing here. No, slightly different. Great Serpent Hunt, decreased recovery time and increased damage to allow the player to more easily withstand attacks from the enemies. So that's a common theme we're seeing here. Allows the player to more easily withstand enemies' attacks while casting. Because they basically want you to be able to get the cast off, right? I've not seen your live in 2 weeks. Not surprising at all. Yeah, not surprising at all. We've constantly had this issue. For what it's worth, I just used my PC and an incognito not locked in my browser. I queried Elden Ring updates and Elden Ring patches. You come up between 10th and the 20th vid, Chrome between 30th and 40th. If I toggle to live, then you're first. Yeah, and usually we were at the top, so they've just changed where we're landing in search results. We used to land at the top. They were giving live streams preferential treatment in search because it's basically a brand new relevant video, and we're not getting that treatment anymore. So they've really hurt our search results. It might slowly improve as they fix whatever they broke, but we looked at it last night. I have 4 channels. One of them is doing just fine in search results, and the other 3 are not, so they did something. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Frenzy Flame Thrust, decreased FP cost, decreased recovery time, decreased madness buildup. Blood Boon Ritual, increased casting speed. Makella's Ring of Light, increased casting speed. Jaqueline? Sea of Magma, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Added a window to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Flame Dance, decreased stamina cost, decreased recovery time. Added a window to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Storm Kick, they decreased stamina cost. Bear Witness, they increased the casting speed. So that is a huge list, holy moly, of weapon skill. Right? A huge weapon skill list. Yeah, we've done patch note streams before and done just fine distorted. We're actually doing great this morning. Again, the issue is that they broke search with the new feature. The new feature is going to be great when they roll it out to everybody, but if you don't have that feature, it actually hurts your channel. And we proved this pretty definitively last night. We went and looked at all 4 of our channels, and it's like, this is the only channel with the feature, and it's doing just fine. Our other 3 channels don't have the feature, and we're all struggling, and we're noticing that it's search results. Like, our videos just are showing up lower and lower in search results than they used to. They basically, I don't know, they fiddled with something. If you're enjoying the show, do me a favor and smash that like button, guys. We're closing in on 200 likes. That's a super helpful thing to the video. Totally free to hit subscribe. Totally free to hit the like button. If you want to consider doing a membership here, before we move to the next section, we are doing extra content on the channel now. I know people on YouTube are kind of right? You're kind of sometimes about members-only content. It's extra. I'm not taking away from the people that sub to this channel, okay? We're doing an extra stream on Thursday and an extra stream on Friday nights. That is something that is brand new. I stream with my wife on Friday nights. We've got drinks. We've got laughs. Thursday is just like an extra stream. If you want me to talk about something that's a little bit more spicy, a little bit more off-topic in the gaming world, somebody put something in the Discord yesterday. It was Eugene. I was like, I'm not going to cover that on Reforge Radio or Gaming, but that's perfect for the Thursday Throwdown. It's a member stream. This week, Friday night, I'm not streaming with my wife. It's community game night. We're playing Fortnite, all right? We're going to do no build squads. I don't care if you don't like Fortnite. It's on every platform and it's totally crossplay, right? Get it installed and updated. We're just doing it for fun, all right? It does not matter if you don't like it. A lot of us don't like it, all right? We're going to have fun drinking and playing no build Fortnite. Okay, upward and downward adjustments. Craig with a $7 tip says worth the membership. Thank you for saying that. Presumably, since I was searching without the algorithm knowing it's me, you come up down between 10 and 30th because other vids have more popularity. But live, you are the king. Yeah, the problem is people don't filter for live. That's a major problem on YouTube. That's why putting us in search results is huge. Like, if I go incognito and search Elden Ring patch, yeah, we're down we're down 2, 4, 5. We're down 7th. That's better than we've been getting. So it seems like maybe they're slowly course correcting it. When I search for Elden Ring patch, which is what we've kind of placed ourselves under, I'm like 7th, and that's far better than we used to get. Well, not than we used to get, than we got last week. Thundercloud form. Okay, they decrease damage when not charged. They decrease FP cost, but they increase cast speed and they decrease recovery time. And here's a whole host of bug fixes. So if you're having any issues with the following bugs, they have fixed them. Fixed a bug where the damage of Inescapable Frenzy was affected by the right-hand weapon. Fixed a bug where the damage of the weapon arts Carrion Retaliation was increased by weapon and status, and the effect was not displayed correctly during online multiplayer. Fixed a bug where the animation, when inflicted with blood loss and frostbite, was bigger than originally planned. Fixed a bug during character appearance change menu in which some parameter changes were sometimes not reflected. Fixed a bug that prevented a dialogue from appearing when executing leave on some items. Fixed a bug that allowed unauthorized items to be passed to other players. Fixed a bug in multiplayer that prevented Grace to be registered on the map if it was found just before the player is summoned. Fix a bug that sometimes prevented the mechanic of Renala, Queen of the Full Moon fight from working properly during cooperative multiplayer. Fixed a bug that sometimes prevented the player from entering the boss area after defeating Margot, the Omen King. Fixed a bug that prevented Edgar the Revenger and Festering Fingerprint Vike from invading after defeating all the bosses in Lernia of the Lake. The item Tonic of Forgetfulness can now be obtained at the Volcano Manor if the player wasn't able to obtain it due to the quest progression. Fixed a bug that caused the reduction of runes due to NPC Gostic when player died in Stormvale Castle to occur at an unintended timing. Added a protective barrier to Millicent after helping her at Miquella's Halig Tree so she cannot be unintentionally killed. Fixed a bug that sometimes prevented the player from obtaining the reward after defeating the Dung Eater. Fixed a bug that sometimes prevented the player from progressing Diallo's questline. Fixed a bug that sometimes prevented players from duplicating remembrances at the Walking Mausoleum. We actually experienced that one. We literally went to the we went to a mausoleum up in the Giants, the Mountains of the Giants, and we went inside and couldn't do anything. So I'm glad they fixed that one. Doesn't help us now, though. We rolled over in New Game Plus. Fixed a bug that prevented players from inputting consecutive attacks when dual-wielding a thrusting sword. Gorthysis with 2 months of membership. Welcome back. Love getting to hang out and listen while playing on my days off. I platted Elden Ring listening to you and tell my friends the gaming news thanks to you. Hey, thank you so much, Gorthysis. We've not gotten a new member yet today. If you've never done a membership here, consider clicking that join button and enjoying the extra content and the emotes and the badge. You also get increased access in our Discord if you're looking for people to play with or hang out with. I just finished Millicent's quest last night. I shall return to the Mausoleum too. Can anyone tell me how bad the nerf was to Adula's Moonblade? Yeah, somebody's going to have to crunch the numbers because all the patch notes were quite generic. And people in chat are saying we don't have 200 likes yet. They're asking you to do that. If you guys have read through these patch notes, let me know in chat which you think is the best thing, your favorite thing, or what makes you the most angry. I'm happy to see Colossal Swords getting some love, because I had to move away from Radon Swords because the recovery was so freaking bad. Fixed a bug that sometimes prevented the player... Oh, we read that. We read that. Here we go. Fixed a bug that caused the Scythe to lose the blood loss effect if poison affinity was applied to the weapon. Fixed a bug where the damage of the Iron Greatsword was lower than expected when an affinity is applied. Fixed a bug that caused FP consumption to increase when the player cast Night Comet with charge. Fixed a bug that causes the default key setting on the keyboard for weapon skill left control to not be set on PC only. Oh, that's a PC only fix. It's all Colossal weapons. No, I know. I'm not saying they just did Radon swords. I'm saying the Colossal change is exciting because I kept trying to tell people that the Radon swords, I couldn't use them because of the recovery. It was like I'm basically trading in every fight, and my damage windows just felt truly, truly awful and truly terrible. Well, look at what happened on updates at exactly 3 a.m. Oh, are you kidding me? So maybe they fixed you over there. That would be great, because this has been absolute misery. It's been frickin' misery. It's like we actually had really good news to cover. We had really good videos, man, and we were getting crushed. YouTube tripped on a power cord or something. They fixed a bug that was causing... Oh, I already read that. Fixed a bug in the Steam version where the history of players who played multiplayer was not displayed correctly under certain circumstances. Increased online multiplayer stability. Fixed a bug that caused incorrect sounds to be played under certain circumstances. Fixed a bug that caused some places on the map to have incorrect visual hitboxes. Fixed a bug that caused Lono to not play well. Fixed a bug that caused Lono to panic roll. Wait, that's not there. Fixed a bug that caused some enemies to have incorrect visual and behavior. Fixed a bug that made Melania really cheap. Fixed a bug that made the Elden Beast a piece of garbage. Fixed a bug that caused some armor to have incorrect stats. Text fix, other performance improvement, and bug fixes. There we go. That's everything. That is everything. I'm sorry that they didn't patch anything to help you guys, but I'm really glad. I'm really glad that they put some of those in there for me. I was really pleased with that. Let me go to my favorite thing in the patch notes. It's not the Stargate channel. It's not that creepy guy. It is this. This section right here is my favorite section. It's my favorite. Increased Colossal swords, Colossal weapons attack speed, and lowered their recovery time. Jump attack not included. That's totally fine. Well, actually, I am curious about that. Because the recovery time seemed to be the best when you jumped, and even that wasn't so great. So I am very curious how Colossal swords and Colossal weapons, how their attack speed and recovery time feels now when you don't jump, right? For me, these fixes came too late. Now I'm waiting for the DLC. These fixes could not have come at a better time for me because I basically have decided I want to play the entire game, all bosses, no summon, and I'm going to go really big on strength. If they were going to patch your skill, they would have to rebuild the game from the ground up. That's a lot of new code. Okay, Zubair. Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. You just reordered your coffee, and you feel like since it's en route to you, you can come in and choose violence. No, that's totally fine, Zubair. That's, it's okay. I'll remember this. I'll remember this day. Increased two-handed attack damage of Colossal swords, Colossal weapons. Jump attack not included. So I wonder if that includes Radon, because you basically switch to two-handed almost all the time, and you're going to get better damage. Imagine only doing one playthrough. What about the camera auto-rotate function being a toggle now? You going to try that? Oh, yeah, I'm going to turn that off. I hate that when I'm on the... When you're on the mount and it's constantly auto-rotating, it's freaking terrible. I support closing violence. Closing violence? Zubair says, I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid of Madam. Oh, okay. All right. They only needed to fix the birds. I hate the birds. Trying to hit a bird with a Colossal weapon sucks. Yeah, we just had to keep jumping at the one bird because we needed to break its posture. All right, let me give you my theory on what's going on, okay? The general theme that I get from these patch notes. So if you're just tuning in, we're covering the Elden Ring patch. Huge amount of changes, okay? Huge amount of changes. Let me give you my theory on what's going on. And this is so affirming to everything that we talked about last week on Friday when I criticized the endgame, all right? I kept saying, and other people kept saying it, that the speed of the game felt awkward at times. It felt like there was a dissonance. There are people that have said it feels like there are Bloodborne and Sekiro bosses in this game, but we don't have the speed. We don't have the speed and the agility. The entire theme of this colossal Elden Ring patch is speeding the game up, right? Now, I know it might be minor changes, but minor changes can add up if you're able to do a lot of these things for magic casting and a lot of these weapons, making those things sort of catch up with the game. Like, okay, there's a chasm here between certain builds and the rhythm of the game. Let's bring them up closer to the speed and rhythm of the game. This is very much something that we've talked about, that the game feels dissonant. It feels like there's a rhythm problem with when you choose certain builds. You're just sort of standing there and not able to, you don't feel like you can engage in the content with the fluidity, with a sense of speed and accuracy. So today I am wearing a Superman shirt from the Superman collection over at 80s Tees. Let me update the shirt command. Yeah, if you guys ever like my shirt, remember there should always be a link in chat to 80stees.com. We're trying to direct you to the actual collections now instead of just the site. I have my ear to the ground with 343, and apparently spam firing rockets has caused matchmaking problems, and every delay and missing mode is directly caused by this. Yes, yeah, I've heard that too. A guy holds the trigger down one time and he never lives it down. I've already beat Elden Ring with Colossal Weapons, says Alex. Doing a Mage Knight build right now, but I really want to try out a Lightning Incantation build, and hopefully this update will make it more viable. Hopefully. Alex, did you feel what I felt with the Colossal Weapons? It felt really out of sync. It didn't feel like it lined up appropriately. You know? Zubair, you got to save everything for the next stream. Paying for ads to be in games. Yeah. Just wait. Our second stream of the day is about Microsoft putting advertisements inside of games. Isn't the Halo new season next week or something? Yeah, I don't know. Is it? Is it? If it is, maybe we'll have to do 2 community game nights in a row. We might have to do 2. We might have to do 2 in a row. Mo better be there. If you guys haven't commented in chat yet, I'm curious what you guys think of this patch. What do you think I'm right, first and foremost? Are they speeding the player up because the game is so fast? Is a lot of the frustration with the endgame with respect to combos, with respect to spam, with respect to AoE? Are they attempting to build a bridge between how I felt, other players felt, and especially, again, that endgame? Distorted says, as a Colossal Weapon user on my main and a Mage on my alt, I'm very excited about these changes. Yeah, it's not just the Colossal that are getting help. I mean, the magic adjustments it's a super long list. Same with the weapon skills. Robert says, pre-patch, I played a Dex build on my first playthrough and it felt great. Then I dabbled with strength and it felt too slow for the game. This patch makes sense. Thank you, Robert. What we concluded for me was, let's just do strength build, sword and board. Let's just go in and try and beat all these bosses with no summons. Let's see how it feels. And these changes are really encouraging because I may end up using a Colossal, and I don't want to feel like, it's too slow to use well and enjoy. You know what I mean? YouTube study. We'd like to invite you to participate with the research team. What are you going over? What are you covering? It doesn't say. Remote. I gotta give. Oh, for Pete's sakes. I'd love to, but I need to know what you're talking about. The last time I freaking did this, it was like... it was about, like, mobile streaming. And I was like... Yeah, that's not really something I do. But hey, I'll give you some feedback, no problem. What's your YouTube channel name? Reforge Gaming is what it's called, right? If it's different from your channel, what's your podcast called? Reforge Gaming. That's it. It's all under Reforge Gaming. What's your YouTube channel link? Oh, for Pete's sakes, how do you not know this? YouTube.com/Reforge Gaming. How many subscribers do you have? Hey, we're in the 5 to 25,000 range. What's the topic of your channel? Gaming. Next. How would you define a podcast? An interactive... Am I reacting? An interactive talk show. That's what this is. So if you guys have never been here before, that's typically what we do. We consider this an interactive talk show, and that's why we like to ask you guys questions. So in regards to the Elden Ring patch, I'm actually curious, are you going to change anything that you're doing? Because what we concluded, this is what we tried to do last week with Elden Ring. We tried to do like a magic build with sword, and it just did not work, right? It just didn't work. We were essentially trying to do something I wasn't comfortable with, which is weaving magic in with my sword, and we were also trying to not summon. Because if you missed my if you missed my gameplay, what we did was we went through about half of the game summoning off and on, and then we did tons of summoning in the late game. Like, the only guy I didn't summon on, I think, was Godfrey. They're primarily available on other platforms. My podcasts are primarily available on YouTube. Yeah. It was like, that was the only guy I didn't summon on. I summoned on basically everybody. You know what I mean? YouTube knows things. Do not reply to that. What do you mean? Why wouldn't I reply to this? They're wanting to do one of those calls with me. I thought we were always supposed to do these. This is how I've always signed up in the past, Creature. It's literally the same thing I've always done. We've always done... The last 3 times I've done a call with them, this is exactly the kind of email that I've gotten. I only like the round nuggets. I don't like the odd-shaped ones. Oh, okay. That's really important. Yo, what's good, Mo? McDonald's? Where I gotta be? What you talking about, Mo? You want to be here? Are you guys talking about the second stream? Yeah, the second stream today, we're going to be talking about Microsoft adding ads to games. You know what I'm saying? The bleed nerf is interesting but subtle, says Robert. It lowers the flinching length, which mainly impacts the Melania fight, because you could stun lock her with bleed procs. Huh. I don't know if I've seen a video of anybody stun lock. You can stun lock Melania with bleed. Saxboy says, for me, the only endgame bosses I didn't like were Melania and the Elden Ring. Right. To me, the way I looked at it was, it felt like the fights were trying to do something very specific, and what it does is it means you got to fight them in a very specific way. You know what I mean? So it's like you end up feeling as if you're being asked to sort of fit into a mold. That's what I felt with some of those fights. What are features do you use? Select all that apply. We use all of this. To which platforms you distribute? Everywhere. What do you mean? Well, not exactly. If they gave you to... Okay, so if YouTube gave you the ability to designate any of your content or channel as a podcast, which would you identify? I mean, so it looks like they're wanting to get into, like, podcasting, which is really cool, because that's literally what we do. Tell us about your podcast and your journey. Oh, my gosh. Why can't this just be checking a couple boxes, dadgummit? I'm not dating you. As I like the Destined Death debuff change, I can now see how much of their health you actually shave away. Crowded House says, this stuff is great, but I'm getting tired of waiting for an optimized patch. Yeah, I said that at the end. Like, it's great that they're taking a lot of the bugs out. They're bug squashing. So this Elden Ring patch is doing good things for the bugs, but, like, where's the optimization? You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's like, I don't even want to start a PlayStation 5. I don't even want to start a PlayStation 5 thing, like save file. I'm just continuing to play PlayStation 4 on PlayStation 5 because the last thing I want to do is experience those little hitches. You know what I mean? I don't know. I started doing live interactive content 7 years ago, and I love doing it more as a talk show. That's all you get. That's all you need to know. Growth and membership increase. That's what success looks like. If anything, do you like or dislike most about podcasting on YouTube? Discovery and membership integration. Those are the worst things. Did not come up in the feed again. Hope they fix it for everyone soon. Yeah. It's still messing with some people, Crack-a-lack. So we're just continuing to tell people, listen, if you guys are subscribed to this channel and you like my content, and maybe you haven't seen my content in a couple of weeks, YouTube broke some stuff, okay? So every day, don't just check your recommended feed. Check your subscription feed or just check my channel. We're here every day doing 2 shows a day, and YouTube broke some stuff. We're not consistently showing up in search, and we're not consistently showing up in recommended feeds, okay? So make sure and do that. No, we've dialed back on doing the polls. I experienced one on mobile, and I thought it was terrible. Matthew coming in with the first new membership of the day. Thanks for clicking the join button, Matthew. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope, and you deserve dope stuff. Don't forget, as a member, there's an extra stream on Thursday afternoon and an extra stream on Friday nights for members. If you're not a member, don't sweat it. This is extra content. We had to start doing member incentives because we weren't getting members, because, to be quite honest, we weren't offering anything other than emotes and a badge. So I know YouTube is different, and primarily most people do YouTube Premium or just watch ads, but membership is a huge way to keep us doing what we're doing, and we are starting to give you extra content as a member as well. Do you have any of the following connections? No, I don't work there. Do you currently work or at any of these companies? No, I don't. Submit. Thank you for participating. Thank you. Okay. There we go. It looks like YouTube's wanting to get into having like a podcast category, which is so huge. We've been saying that for a really long time. It's like, I'm not just uploading videos. I'm doing an actual live interactive podcast, and there's no way to classify myself as that on your platform. And it's a huge market. Like, come on. It's the same reason we're trying to do TikTok live streaming. Like, we want to simulcast. If you guys haven't followed us over there, they are really pushing the live stream content over there, and I think we could really stand out and be top shelf quality content over there. Like, there's not a lot of high quality content live streamed on that platform. So if you use Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, it's Reforge TV. I know it seems weird for a YouTuber to be like, hey, follow me on TikTok, but we think it's a great opportunity for what we do and the quality that we bring. So if you use TikTok, just go look for Reforge TV. It's the same on Twitter and Instagram. The fact that you base your gameplay off of one really bad spell is not a good review. They're faster to cast hit spells. Oh, is somebody talking about a specific spell? Honestly, if we could use Torrent in the Elden Beast fight, it would have been a great fight. I can't wait for DLC. I wonder if they're ever going to do that. Hey, guys, we decided to let you use Torrent in the Elden Beast fight. They nerfed a weapon art casting speed. Oh, got it. Did they nerf Rivers of Blood at all? Yeah, somebody's saying they nerfed the weapon art casting speed. Lono monologue while completing a questionnaire is the most boomer thing in 2022. Well, I wanted to do it right away so I get included, because I really want to provide feedback to them about live streaming and podcasting on their platform, since that is quite literally what I do. And you gotta fill those things out pretty quickly. That's fair. It was pretty fast. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I think they're probably thinking about is, if we're going to make the entire game faster, right? If we're going to make the entire game faster, we've got to make sure we don't leave remnant pieces of speed that result in sort of like things being kind of broken. Because it was NBCTM in chat who said, it sounds like they're speeding the whole game up. And I was like, that's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like they're saying, hey, like, we got to get this thing going. We got to get this faster, man. So many of these builds are just so slow. But in the process of doing that, they might have discovered that certain things were going to be way too fast. By the way, let me explain the TikTok thing. We need 1,000 followers over there, and we're at like 840. I only need like 150 some odd people to go over there and click follow. You don't even have to use the platform, right? We want to unlock live streaming so we can try it out. You don't have to watch me over there, consume my content over there. We're just trying to hit 1,000 followers. Again, I get it. It's TikTok. It seems ridiculous, but just trust me on this. We think there's a good opportunity for us over there. Yo, Matthew coming in, not just with a new membership, but with a $20 tip. That's very generous. Been loving the streams lately, especially the podcast on the current issues and personal topics. Keep them coming. If you guys missed it, we have another channel called Reforge Radio, and we cover serious topics. Culture, politics, religion. We've covered Will Smith. We've covered LGBT stuff. Yesterday we covered the Christians singing on that plane, and I'm open about the fact that I'm a Christian. I weighed in on it, and I was actually pretty harsh. And funny enough, they have published a response, not to me. They published a response on TikTok claiming they got permission from the pilot and the flight attendants, and I was like, that doesn't change anything, bro. That doesn't change my opinion, bro. But yeah, there has been so much backlash that they published a response. And I watched it, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's still ridiculous, and you should never do it again. So if you miss that conversation or you like those kind of conversations, we don't talk about that kind of stuff here. We have a separate channel for that called Reforge Radio. So I completely deleted my TikTok account, but good luck. It's no worries. I understand. The platform's not for everybody. I like going over there and seeing like little inspirational clips or Jordan Peterson clips and stuff, but there certainly is a lot of content over there that I have zero interest in. So I 100% understand people not using the platform. We've discovered the ability to simulcast and have really good audio and video quality over there, which would be a huge, huge standout. Chris Faccio said, it's crazy. I called you crazy because you said it's crazy. Chris Faccio says, it's crazy FromSoft buff the Serpent Hunter Greatsword. That thing was so broken already. Yeah, I had somebody say that the other day. They're like, it's actually really good. You should use it. Where's Samuel L. Jackson when you need him? Yeah. They need to have him back to SNL and do a skit instead of snakes on a plane, singing on a plane. I'm tired. Christians on a plane. I'm tired of all these mother blanking, all this mother blanking singing on this mother blanking plane. I'm sad I missed yesterday. I wanted to say mean things about Christians, says Zubair. Man, I am feisty this morning. I'm going to sips this dark roast and calm down. Oh, she's a real drag. We turn the sound down on her and we say rude things. That's what that makes me think of. I wanted to say mean things about Christians. Yeah, she's a real drag. We turn the sound down on her and we say rude things. It's the go-to weapon for the glitchless speed runs. You can chunk bosses for crazy damage. Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, the speed runs are getting fast. They're getting real fast. You should get more than just one spell, says Diaz, and try the spell sword build again. The one you used was a horrible example of spells in the game. Here's my pushback on what you're saying, Diaz. If I'm gonna do, I'm not saying you're incorrect, so my pushback has nothing to do with the correctness of what you're saying. If I'm gonna go fight literally every boss in Elden Ring and play completionist, because I'm going to need to level up, I'm going to need to do everything. I'm not going to be able to just beeline it to bosses like I was doing on my New Game Plus run. Okay, if I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that in the context of doing every boss in the game, no summoning, I need to pick a build that I'm exceptionally comfortable with, which I think is strength, sword and shield, just get in there and roll and block. Roll block hit, roll block hit, get back, roll block hit, roll block hit, roll block hit. Like, I don't think weaving in magic while also trying to not summon, I don't think that's a good idea. I think I need to play my strengths, stick to my core competencies, and try to do an entire run with no summoning, and I gotta stick to what I'm comfortable. Roblox stream? Yeah, Roblox, yeah. The 1 minute and 24 second speed run is a cheater. The fly through objects, which is impossible without hacks. Oh, well, if he hacked his game, I don't care about his speed run. If you use in-game glitches and exploits, it depends if that's an acceptable, like, metric when they're doing the speed run. But if you're cheating and using hacks to like push through walls and stuff, that's not, no one cares. You know what I mean? That'd be like using a damage buff hack and being like, I beat the game in 30 seconds. Like, because then you're just getting down to the literal brass tacks of how fast can you literally run to the credits, because nothing's going to stop you. Does that make sense? So I would say that, if that's what they're doing, they're cheating. Like, that's not even, who cares? You know what I mean? I can put on God mode, max damage hacks, and just run to the final boss of any game. I've not done anything. You've not achieved anything. Exploit speedruns have their own category, so it's fair. Right, they usually have the asterisk or the category of like, this is an exploit speedrun, this is a normal speedrun. So like, Elden Ring speedruns are breaking into those two categories, and this guy's using a hack to push through walls. That's not a category, you're just a cheater. I wouldn't say it's cheating, it's a certain flavor of playing. Really? Okay. So I'll remember that if we ever play a board game together, Zubair. I'll remember that, you know? I'll just give myself money in Monopoly and be like, it's just a certain flavor of playing, Zubair. What? I identify as a bank robber in Monopoly, so I'm just periodically going to just rob the bank. Come on. It's just a certain flavor of playing, bro. Have you heard of the Elden Ring player called Let Me Solo Her? They wait for players to summon them on Melania, then solo kill her without getting hit, wearing only a pot on their head. I have. Let Me Solo Her is a legend. I love it. I love Let Me Solo Her. Whoever that is, whoever he, she, or they are an absolute legend. Gonna watch Batman this weekend? I want to try to watch it before the weekend because I'm impatient, but it's probably not going to be possible. Getting down on the couch in time to watch a movie, having all my work done, and having my kids in bed, I am not a magician. No, I meant it's a certain flavor of speedrun. Right, but Zubair, I don't agree with that. Exploit speedruns, yes. Cheating speedruns, no. Because you can cheat in any game. You're not proving anything. I could put on a God mode max damage cheat and literally and run through the walls all the way to the end and kill the boss. Like, that you haven't achieved. Anybody can do that. That's why I don't think it's an achievement. I'm sure he's adding a flavor, like you're saying, a flavor of spice. Like, well, if I can push through walls, just how fast can we make this go? Okay, but again, I don't know. Zips are fine for unrestricted run, but zips aren't hacking. It's exploit the in-game coding. Right. Oh, IGN interviewed Let Me Solo Her? The let her solo me person is funny too, especially considering people seeing the news make the same reading mistake as players. Wait, let her solo me? Is that his name? Is it let me solo her or let her solo me? I guess I'm missing the line. Are these external cheats? I might have missed the memo. If it's an internal glitch bug, I think it's okay. No, you've missed the category, I think. So Zubair, yes, within speedrunning, there is this internal glitch bug exploit category, and there's the no glitch category. The guy that got 1 minute and 24 used an external cheat so he could like walk through walls. That's not legitimate. That's what I was taking issue with. I think you just might have misunderstood or misheard me. Because there's a significant difference between saying, oh, if I click on this rock, it launches me over here, and then I bounce through this wall. Well, that's an in-game thing. That's an in-game exploit. That's fair game in speedrunning within the category of using glitches and exploits. And then this guy's using something external that doesn't count. I think it's an automatic DQ. There's no category for that because, again, if you had a category for cheating speedrunning, it's like, well, I have a God mode, God weapon cheat turned on. I'm going to run all the way through the game and kill the final boss. Yay, I did it. Well, you're just literally proving how fast your character can run from point A to point B. That's a win for the computer, not you. Exactly. Derek says, no, it's a second purpose. Oh, it's a second person purposefully tricking people into thinking that they're the solo her guy. Oh. There's somebody that is let her solo me. Are they really bad? Like, I think that would be my favorite. Is impersonation would be... It would be irritating, and it would be so unfortunate to sully the legend of let me solo her, okay? But impersonation there, I actually think would be pretty funny. They go rolling up in the room, and they're like, oh, shoot, Creature, I did not type anything up for the afternoon stream. I have my write-up typed up. Creature, are you here? Can you hear me? Shoot, I forgot to do that. Dadgummit. I was rushing. I was supposed to do that this morning, and I was rushing to create a write-up and a description and title because we had to switch to Elden Ring. We weren't going to cover this morning. It was like a surprise patch. Yeah, sorry. The time I had allotted for that this morning got gobbled up by this massive Elden Ring patch. The internet's bloody hilarious. Let her solo me pops in. The player expects salvation, and I guess they get trounced and fail on purpose. And the media reported it, and people still misread it. I just love pulling your opinions out of my butt. This one should be easy for you to know what I think, Creature. This psychologist in LA is saying we're going too far. Letting children do this is dangerous. There's pressure from social and environments and pressure from kids and friends, and that's a serious concern. You know where I land on this. I've made that pretty clear. This one, I think you can couch it pretty well and know where I'm going to land on it. Runs that use zips are boring in my opinion, said Silverwolf. Not fighting any bosses is just a snooze fest. It's a completely genius troll move. Yeah, it is. It is. It's unfortunate that they're capitalizing on an absolutely legendary, form of altruism, right? There's just this legend out there that's like, I'll take care of her for you. I'll take care of Melania or Melania or whatever her name is. I don't know. I like that. I don't necessarily like the idea of somebody doing this, going and taking advantage of it. Dude, today's Wordle is terrible. I got Toner, Lover, Cower, Dozer. It's a guessing game at this point. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. I don't know what it is, chat. Bobber, Gawker. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just a guessing game. Since the second word, I've had nothing but green. You see? Toner, Lover, Cower, Dozer. Is it Boner? No, it can't be Boner. No. You got me to say Boner though. Twice. Stoner. No, N can't work. It can't be N. There are people that literally stream Wordle challenges on TikTok. It's unbelievable, the viewership. People love it. It's not just Wordle. It's some Wordle challenge, some Wordle challenge app. If you guys are just tuning in, we covered the Elden Ring patch. Tons of buffs and changes. My contention is they're speeding the game up, in large part due to some of the criticism that I myself and many others have made about the speed of the game, the speed of the endgame, the combos, the lack of speed for some builds for players. The biggest thing I loved was the colossal swords and weapons having their attack speed lowered and their recovery time, having their attack speed increased and recovery time. Weapon attack speed and lowered recovery time. They increased weapon attack speed. They also increased two-handed damage for Colossal Swords, which should really help the Radon Swords. I actually like the Radon Swords quite a bit, but I put them down because of the endgame rhythm of the game. So, we want to hear from you. They also made a ton of changes to magic and weapon skills, speeding up a ton. I noticed you're rotating your displays again. Get everything worked out with them? No, I just rotate them once a week now. Voter? No, not voter. No, you can't use T. You can't use T. You can use BM, JK, YUI, FG, X, and Q. I have no idea what the frick this is. Maybe it's two O's. Booer, mooer. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not a middle word. Is it foyer? I swear to frick if that's it. Is it foyer? Boom, 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 boom. I cheated and I don't care because these ones are stupid. These are luck-based. Thank you, Quincy. I don't like when the Wordle is luck-based. Like, what the frick, man? What the frick? I was using Ruin's Greatsword for my first playthrough. It was way too slow for endgame bosses. Decided to move to Double Hammer plus Rallying Standard and Royal Knight's Resolve. Yo, Mank, that's exactly what I said about the Radon Swords. I'm like, what? I can't do anything. Recovery was terrible. Attack speed was terrible. So, I had to stop. If you're new and enjoying the show, we do a talk show like this Monday through Friday. We were not going to cover Elden Ring today. We're trying to relegate Elden Ring to Fridays as much as we can because we call that From Friday, where we cover Elden Ring and play Elden Ring. We also played through Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro for the first time ever for me. I'm very new to FromSoftware games, but this patch was massive. If you got questions about it, input, complaints, celebrations, let us know in the chat. Hit subscribe. If you like my content and maybe you haven't seen it in a while, or maybe you try to watch every day, I'm not showing up some days in people's recommended feed. So make sure you check your subscription feed and my channel every day if you want to consume this content like a radio show and throw me on in the background. I'm here Monday through Friday doing 2 shows a day, and then we head over and do a 3rd show on Reforge Radio. And you're going to want to make sure you check those 2 places. YouTube is fiddled with some stuff, and I'm not showing up in people's feeds like I used to, and it's really hurting us, and it's a bummer because people are like, I didn't know you streamed the last 2 weeks. It's like, oh gosh. So make sure you're checking those 2 places. I remember when you would argue with us when we said those swords were too slow until you got to late game. I didn't argue with anybody, Kenpachi. This is what always happens, Kenpachi. This is what always happens. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to try this game out. I can't wait to... What did I just knock down? What did I... 2 things. Ah, frick. It's over there underneath the light cord. This always happens, right? You're like, oh man, I can't wait to check this out. And you go to check it out. And people are like, it's bad. It's not good. It's crap. It's like, let me try it out. Let me try it out. Be quiet. Xbox is devouring PlayStation. Did you take a gummy before coming in here? You sure about that? I used colossal weapons for Radagon and the Elden Beast, says Distorted. They are weak to Black Flame. I just used the God's Layer Sword. Is Elden Ring your top 10 game of all time list? Yeah, it is. As much as I complained about it and as much as I criticized it, yeah. It's definitely my top 10. What happened with Displate? We're gonna order some of our own disc plates and put them back there, and then I'm gonna try and get in touch with somebody and fix whatever happened. But currently, don't buy any. Don't use our link at the current moment. Just don't do it. We're trying to fix something. It's the link's not working, and I can't get responses. So for now, don't order anything with our link because I'm not getting credit for it. Like the last 4 or 5 people that have ordered, I haven't gotten credit and I can't get an answer. So we're going to order some of our own and throw them back there for the time being just to kind of decorate the office with our own artwork. And we're going to try and fix whatever in the heck happened. I don't know. Maybe the person I'm trying to talk to quit or something, and I'm going to need to wait. I've had that happen before with sponsors where somebody quits and you don't know, and then you can't frickin' get an answer for a long, long time. So right now, if you want to support, the best thing to do is to click the join button, use the join link in the description. $5 a month goes a really long way if a lot of people do it, and we're trying to give people good reason to. We're adding extra content. We're adding community game night. Those are all things for members that we're doing. Order some coffee. Go to 80s Tees and order a t-shirt. Like, that's the best thing to do right now. If you're wanting to do is display, hold off. Also, my glasses are from Gunner Optics. If you ever want to get some sunglasses or some blue light blocking glasses, you can always use the glasses link below or the glasses command. That also supports me. So, but Display's currently in we're just in a weird spot with them. We're like, I don't know what's happening and I can't get an answer. Well, wait until. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly what would happen. I'd be like, oh man, got these brand new swords in Elden Ring. Let me try them out. Oh, Lono, they're bad. Wait until this. Wait until that. You know what I mean? No one is talking about PlayStation games. You're right. Except that Returnal just won Game of the Year at the BAFTAs and also sweeped 3 other awards. Ratchet & Clank was nominated for a lot of games. Spider-Man Miles Morales is the top-selling game on the PlayStation platform 5, 6, 7, 8 months in a row. Nobody's talking about PlayStation games. You're right. What was your criticism for Elden? I think the endgame gets a little flat tire. I think the endgame dials in a lot of tropes that I don't find enjoyable. I don't like the combos. I don't like the AoE. It just feels really spammy in the end game. And I don't know. I think it would have been fine if they spread those things out. If there was a boss that was like that, and then you didn't run into a boss like that for a long time, it'd be totally fine. However, it's like every boss, boom, this one's spammy. Boom, this one's spammy. Boom, they're all so close together. I think it makes for a really unenjoyable endgame. I honestly think the late game of Elden Ring is where it's weakest. I think it's at its best in the beginning. The front 2/3 of the game is magnificent. The back 1/3, you don't like Melania, got it? No, I don't like Melania. I don't like Malekith. I don't like the Elden Beast. The birds that show up late game. The back 1/3 of the game just really dials in a lot of spam, a lot of AoE, a lot of long combos. You think God of War Ragnarok will beat Elden Ring for Game of the Year? I don't know. I'll have to play it. It's definitely a contender from what I've seen, though. Right? I mean, for somebody to say nobody's talking about PlayStation games, our God of War Ragnarok video hit 100,000 views over on a very small channel, our little updates channel. Little engine that could over there. We have little breakout videos over there every once in a while. It's fantastic. So we've been thrilled with the support of everybody that has subbed and has supported that channel, and same with all of our other channels. Reforge Radio and memberships and support over there, and memberships and support here. We appreciate you guys doing all that. We've got a lot of different places where we put our content. Ragnarok release date at this point, the speculation's October. Most PlayStation games are DLCs. Example, Miles Morales, false. Rift Apart, false. Upcoming Ragnarok, false. Tell me you've never played Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart without telling me you haven't played them. And you just admitted you haven't played them because you couched them with a game that hasn't even launched yet. So, again, you haven't played them, so your opinion on them doesn't matter. Are you going to tell me how bad the food is at a restaurant that you have never eaten at as well? That'd be just as stupid. You really dislike a crap ton of stuff about the PS4 game you're playing on PS5 to still say it's your top 10 games ever? Yeah, I mean, I disliked a ton of things about Destiny, but I loved Destiny. I really think, unless you're super familiar and super in love with the game, you won't sniff out a lot of the things I've sniffed out. Do you understand? Like, if I play a game casually and enjoy it, it's not going to get top 10, and I'm also not going to have a list of complaints. I think the two go hand in hand. Ask me about Hellblade, my favorite game of all time, and I'll list, as I play through it, I'll say, yeah, this is an area I don't like. Yeah, this section here I think is bad. Yeah, this thing they did here, I don't like this. Why? Because the familiarity and the love drives that. It honestly does. Like, I don't think you get to the level of familiarity and intimacy and love with the game. You can't get there without noticing the flaws and pointing them out. Like, I think the two always go hand in hand. At least they always go hand in hand for me. True. The games that we love most are the games we can most accurately criticize. Yeah, and familiarity breeds contempt. So sometimes the more familiar you are with the game, the more those little things can start to really bother you. You're like, this stupid, I said this, like, it just sets you off. Like, when I was fighting Margit, he interrupted one of his combos to respond to me healing. It just set me off. I was like, see, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Like, but I'm only hyper aware of that and know that's a presence and know that's a thing because I love the game so much and have played it so much and have watched videos that have analyzed it. Like, you don't do that with games that you don't really care about. It's a normal thing to have more criticisms of a game you love than you don't. If I hate a game, I just don't give a crap about it. Right. You can have valid criticisms of a game and still have it in your top 10. Yeah, I've got criticisms of both the first and second Ori games, and they're in my top 10, no doubt. No doubt. Ghost of Tsushima, I have things that I'm irritated by when I play it, and I think Ghost of Tsushima is like one of the greatest games ever made. Donovan Colwell, our second new member of the day. Enjoy the dope badge, enjoy the emotes, enjoy the access to the extra content. We do an extra stream on Thursday afternoons, and we do a Friday night stream with my wife. But sometimes that Friday night stream is community game night. Guys, as a reminder, if you're a member or you're considering doing membership, this Friday is community game night, so get your Fortnite updated. I don't care if you don't like Fortnite. Just come and play with us, all right? It's cross-play, it's cross-platform, it's everywhere, it's free. We're going to do no-build squads. It's fun. Trust me. We'll be drinking and laughing. And that's all extra content. So if you can't do a membership, don't be annoyed with me saying that, please. I know YouTube gets kind of weird about memberships. People are like, dude, he's doing membership. Yeah, I am. I do 17 live shows a week. You know, let me put 2 of them behind a member wall. Sekiro's bosses are really well designed and combat feels much better than Elden Ring. Well, I don't know if it feels better. It's more predictable. Combat in Sekiro sets up very clear rules and parameters, and you get in those parameters and you apply yourself to get to the, to the excellent level of finesse. Imori with 8 months. Fortnite, you say. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Imori. Welcome back in. Thanks for 8 months. Eugene posted an article that said, the arrival of new PS5 hardware bundles has boosted sales of its big games. Gran Turismo 7 posted a 163% spike in sales, setting the racing game to up 5 places at number 2. Just behind Horizon Forbidden West at number 3, which jumped 11 places after 307% leap in sales. Other PS5 games have also moved up the charts, partially due to the arrival of more console stock, but also Easter price promotions. Spider-Man Miles Morales re-enters the charts at number 15 after 302% sales spike. Ratchet & Clank to top 40 is back in top 40 at number 17 after a 709%. Ghostwire Tokyo at number 21. Ghost of Tsushima, my baby, Director's Cut is at number 30, up 464%. That's what happens when the stock of the PS5 comes in. Yeah, the sales numbers go insane. Gran Turismo 7 is a scam. Frick that game. I was wondering who was going to say that. Yeah, we haven't heard great things about Gran Turismo. I guess Halo Infinite is the outlier for me. I just can't explain why I love it, and 343 hate it so much. Oh, you love it and 343, and you hate it so much? Sekiro has the benefit of not being an RPG. Yeah, Sekiro is very, it's in its lane. It's in its lane. They only had to design the game around one playstyle, says Diaz. It should be more refined combat. Sekiro was boring to me because there were no builds, like in Elden Ring. Yeah, it's so subjective, right? Like, if you thought Sekiro was amazing, you might think the builds and the randomness and all that is annoying in Elden Ring. Could we get 7 more likes on the video to get to 300 likes? If you guys have been enjoying the stream, it's free to click subscribe and it's free to click the like button, and it does help us out. Despite the restock, it's still less than the series consoles. What do you mean? Less in what way, Mo? It sells faster. They've sold more. The demand is higher. It was selling at the end of last year 1.5 units to every one Xbox, and at the start of this year it was getting close to 2 units to every one. What is it less than with the series consoles? Can't wait for the gen to get in full flow for PS and Xbox, about to take off. If they can finally get the chipsets, for sure. I still remember when you got Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5 with the upgrade and you fast traveled. Yeah, insta fast travel. That's right. Yeah, it's not fast travel. It's insta travel. 13 months of membership from Oscar, and it's a tier 2. Thanks for doing a higher tier membership, Oscar, and for doing it for 13 months. Welcome back in to Reforge Gaming. I'm moving further and further away from games with all these extra forms of monetization, says Distorted. I don't like it. I don't want to spend it, and I don't think it's necessary. I think I'll continue. I think it'll continue that trend. Oh, you're going to continue that trend. Have you thought about Neo 2? No. Something you can't argue with. PS5 has lagged way behind on sales of the Halo campaign. You can't defend that. Wait, what? PS5 has lagged way behind on the sales of the Halo campaign? Oh, it hasn't sold enough of the Halo campaign, Zubair? Is that what you're saying? Gran Turismo 7 is to be was also down for over 30 hours. That's why the game should be playable offline in all modes. It's funny, but slowly but surely the turtle wins the race. Not always. Not always. I don't think the Xbox is going to... I don't think it's going to exceed the PlayStation in saturation. I don't think it's possible. You got to save that. You guys got to save the Xbox PlayStation stuff for the next stream. I don't want to do this right now. You got to save it. Put a lid on it. Put a lid on it. The next stream we're talking about Microsoft putting advertisements in games. What does that mean for Game Pass, right? Whoosh. That wasn't a whoosh. I got the joke. It wasn't some of his best work. We'll just write that joke off and I won't bill you for it. Yeah, it wasn't a very good joke. Let me clarify. I don't think it's necessary part. I think companies have made it necessary for themselves, but it's clearly not necessary to do it to make good games and still make profit. Neo 2 has a wide variety of builds. I mean, so in the realm of FromSoftware, we're trying to be very, very careful because it's clear that we're getting hit from like 18 different angles, right? Like YouTube's acting up, but obviously we covered Elden Ring so much leading up to its launch, and then we covered and played it for 4 straight weeks, and then we quickly diverted back to like variety. And when you do that, a huge portion of your new audience starts clicking a whole lot less, and that, that can be bad, right? And I think it caught up with us to a certain extent. Now, I also think if I'm trying to do every single Elden Ring boss, no summons, and I'm trying to do a brand new strength build, and, I'm playing through the entire dadgum game, I don't think relegating that to only Fridays is a good idea either. We need to find a happy middle ground where I'm periodically able to play the game during the week without overwhelming the channel with Elden Ring and FromSoft so we can get back to variety coverage. But I also can't hurt Fridays by being like, yeah, guys, I've not touched the game in 7 days. Let's get back to this. And then I play like garbage. That was one of the challenges with Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro, is I would put the game down for an entire dadgum week, come back, and have to kind of like relearn it, and it really made it hard. Like it made it tough to enjoy. I think it hurts the content a little bit. If I would have been able to flow each day or every other day right into some of those bosses like the Owl or Ishin, I think it would have been a very different experience for me. I'm a firm believer that people not getting a joke can really just make the joke better. I'm not sure what you mean. Unreal Engine 5 demo on the Xbox Series X turned the table. Sony probably scared by now. Yeah, you got to save that for the next stream. Come back and say all this. Come back and use the next stream for all the brain dead takes about Xbox. The great thing about Xbox, yeah, and there's another one. With how quickly they have updated Elden Ring, do you think FromSoftware is in a good spot to maybe do a live service? I don't know if they're in a position for live service. I think what they're in a position for now is probably DLC. Right? I would imagine it's probably DLC. I don't know if Elden Ring can ever be live service for a handful of reasons. I don't know if the online netcode's built for it. Hey, 10 minutes ago, I didn't see this. Somebody ordered some coffee, dark roast and a light roast, one of each to Seamus. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that, Seamus. That is 2 coffee sales for the day and 2 memberships for the day. We like to see 5 of each. If you've not done a coffee order or a membership, consider doing one. What do you drink for coffee in the morning? What's your choice? And why isn't it Rageless Roast? Those are 2 questions you need to answer right now if you're a coffee drinker. He instantly proved that. What, did I make the joke funnier? I don't understand. Oh, me. Firmly, people not getting a joke can make the joke better. Oh, I made the joke better by not getting it. I got it. It didn't read well in text form. Once I understood what he was saying, I got the joke. It flowed terribly in text form. I bought a new Xbox Series X, did my taxes, and balanced on my checkbooks. It'd be hard to make good bosses in a live service format. Yeah, Armored Core can be live service, Randall. I think that's what they're going to end up doing. Because, listen, Miyazaki made it clear that they want to get into live service, right? He made it very clear that FromSoftware games will get to a point where they're putting out a live service game. I don't think it's going to be Elden Ring. I modified my prediction about that after I played the game, right? I ordered 3 dark and 3 light yesterday. Friends and family loved the coffee. Yes, thank you for that. We greatly appreciate that. Wait, you ordered 3 dark and 3 light? That was you? I thought Ganks did that. I mean, I saw the 2 orders. I printed them last night. We're going to ship it in 1 box instead of 2 shipments. Morning, Lono in chat. Yo, what's good, Abe? How many buffs are we talking? A lot, actually. A lot. When they said texted, did they fix what putting to press when on a like the graces? Hasio, you can't type like that. What happened? That sentence doesn't make any sense. Armored Core might make for a better live service. I've had people say that. They're like, Armored Core would be better suited for it. It would be better suited for live service. 100% is I consistently got that feedback when I trotted out my live service predictions, right? Xbox is outselling the PS5 2-1. Microsoft buying tons of microchips paid off. Guess what? You're banned. I asked you to stop talking about it, and now you're just lying. So get the frick out of here. Take your Xbot addiction somewhere else. It's not even worth leaving you around for the next stream so I can smack you around the room for your stupid takes. You can't listen to simple instructions, so get the frick out. The super armor for some of the faith spells should help a lot. Thanks for the great stream as always. Makes work go down easier. I appreciate that, 809 Lion. I had the problem too last time I ordered coffee. The Max System would let me buy as 3. Creature's rebuilding it. So you should be able to. I don't know if he fixed that or not. We don't let people order more than 3 if they're outside of America, but inside of America, I think we let you order 5 most. I swear they weren't like that previously. I sometimes think these people come in with accounts, Eugene, and I think it's the troll. I think the troll makes accounts, comes in, hangs out, takes up, positions and argumentation because they feel like they're a part of things. But then they just want to be disruptive. Like, I've noticed that a couple of times recently. People that seemed kind of like regulars all of a sudden become very committed to disruption. And it's like, okay, I think you're just a troll. You're not You're not an actual member of the community. Telorn says, I'm inside and it was in February. Maybe fixed now? I'm not sure what you mean. Hasio says, in the patch, did they fix it to where the right button to press would show up in was on PC and it showed Xbox controller and I was on mouse and keyboard? Golly, it's still a rough sentence, but I understand what you mean. I don't know, Hasio. They didn't say anything about that. Yo, what's good, Hercules? It's annoying when the show gets disrupted by console talk. Yeah, I mean, you guys with your console wars, you drove off 40 people. We were at 380 and cruising and holding close to 400 viewers, and you started it. I took the bait, and we drove 40 to 50 people off. It's not the subject, so you guys have got to stop. I give you plenty of opportunities to get out your PlayStation and your Xbox sticks and wail on each other, but you can't do it when it's not the subject, because I take the bait because it's just too easy. It's just such an easy thing to do, and then we drive people away. Like, we had a perfectly healthy rhythm of viewership, and we immediately shove folks out the door when we go down into the trenches and want to fight about that. I lost my membership like 2 weeks ago. I still haven't been given the option to reinstate it for some reason. I don't know what they did, Chris Lethal. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Eugene, not Eugene. Zubair always says he's cool, even though he likes light roast. He couldn't get his membership renewed either. He literally sent me DMs about it. Just report and move on. Yeah, there's a guy on Instagram, not Instagram. There's a guy on TikTok posting videos, old videos of me and trying to be a troll. Just report him and move on. They won't let him stay. Yeah, Atwood. Sorry, Agent Atwood was the one that suddenly couldn't renew. Yeah. I think it's odd when someone leaves a live stream at the slightest mention of another topic at the moment. Like, you ever been in a live stream before? Well, what I think it is, Sven, is there's always a batch of new people, okay? So there's always a batch of new people. And if you're one of those new people, and the minute you walk in the door, there's people in chat being fanboys and debating, and I'm talking with them about PS5 and the Xbox. You're like, what? I want to hear about the Elden Ring patch notes. Like, that's the challenge, is there's always a new swath of people coming in, and they expect me to be slightly on topic. And the console war is just really unappealing to people. They're like, what? I'm out. Especially when they've just clicked, right? Creature says, console wars are so tired and weird, no one wants to hear that. Unless it's the topic. If it's the topic, I think people enjoy it, right? I think people enjoy it. I do. I think when it's the topic, people are like, hey, this is pretty dope. But when they're like, yo, the Elden Ring patch, man, dope. Let me see, let me get in here. Let me hear about this news. And they're like, oh. They're talking about PS5 and Xbox wars. So, it's not the rabbit hole, it's the awful rabbit hole. Yeah, we go down rabbit holes all the time. Yeah. We went down plenty this morning. We went down plenty rabbit holes this morning, and nobody leaves when you do that. But man, that console war, people don't like it. People do not like it. And again, I love you guys that do the console war stuff. I give you places to debate that, and it's really fun to spar and go back and forth, but it's got to be the topic. How long before we know what these changes really do? I mean, Reddit will chop it up throughout this week, Butters. It'll take a while. One of the first, so Creature asked me this morning, he's like, so can we play it and test it out? And I was like, no. I was like, it's such a big patch, there's just no way. I was like, if I had my player at the Elden Ring endgame before I rolled it over to Elden Ring New Game Plus, we could have tested some things out, right? We could have went and I guess we would have had to test it on giants that respawn. And we could have tested, like, the speed of the Radon swords or something. But, like, I was like, New Game Plus, what am I going to test? I'm melting everything, and then I started a new character, right? What am I going to do? Like, I don't have anything. So it's like, the patch was so big, it's going to take the community a couple of days to probably chop it all up and test things out. And I was just not in a position to test any of it. I was like, it'll help our new build that we want to do on Friday. We're going to have a whole new series. We might start that series before Friday. I don't know. It depends on what gaming news does this week. A $10 tip from Emo Boy. After the patch, what do you think is still the strongest weapon? I don't know. I wonder if this patch is going to make a lot of people run to the Radon swords because they have magic damage laced within them. I love Elden Ring patches. Don't ruin my game experience. Oh, I hope Elden Ring patches don't ruin my game experience. I'm taking my time with the game. I hope it's not a completely different game by the time I get to the end. I'll probably finally snag it next week after the patch has been parsed out. Has the Moonveil blade been nerfed yet? No. Did they nerf anything on Moonveil? They might have nerfed its weapon skill, because they did nerf some weapon skills. 2 months from NBC, 2 months of membership. Welcome back. Lono, do you see you get soft ban for picking up Deathbed Smalls? No. What in the world is that? Moonveil got nerfed last patch, not this one, says Rogue Necro. Yeah, I already got the patch downloaded on my PlayStation. Everything's been installed. There was a No Man's Sky patch. There was a Horizon Forbidden West patch. There was a Babylon's Fall. What? No, that's from the other day. Yeah, Babylon's Fall. They really named their game appropriately. Because boy, did that game fall. Woo! Right on its face. Just an absolute tragedy, chat. Just a tragedy. You know? Just a tragedy, chat. Oh, I shut my monitor off. That's not what I meant to do. Do you hear rumors Sony's trying to buy FromSoft? So we have a smaller channel called Reforge Updates, and I cover things over there that don't necessarily make for great talk shows. They're like really quick 4-minute updates, and we cover that over there. It should hit sometime today or tomorrow. That's a great channel to be subscribed to if you like really quick news updates. Yesterday, we covered on that channel, is Kojima being bought by PlayStation? A Cyberpunk expansion timeline, the new model for Call of Duty, right? Like, that stuff hits over there. And I recorded a bunch of videos last night that'll hit there very soon. And that, we can't cover literally everything here. It just isn't possible. You didn't see literally anything for Babylon's Fall? I mean, it literally failed. It launched and failed like almost immediately. It was terrible. You want to know why it failed? I'll tell you why it failed. I tried to boot up the game to try it out to record footage, and I literally couldn't play the game because they wanted me to sign up or log in, and I couldn't do it. I literally felt like the biggest boomer in the history of boomers. I couldn't get past the thing. I was like, okay, I reset my password, couldn't work. Did a new login, couldn't work. Do you want to know what it did? After I tried resetting the password numerous times and typing in the password and typing in my username and then also creating a new one, do you want to know what it kept doing? It kept adding a space at the end when I hit the enter button. Whatever their web page landing thing that they created, whatever it was, it added a space at the end anytime you hit submit. So what it did was, you're like, here's my username and password, and you'd go to hit enter, and it would add a space somewhere in your username or your password. So when I signed up, it did the same thing. I finally caught it. I saw it do it, and I was like, wait a minute, it added a space. So I went and I removed the space and resubmitted it, and it fixed it. And I finally got in. So if you wonder why nobody's playing your freaking game, it's because of that. That's why. The game's probably crap too, but all that nonsense about logging in. Listen, I downloaded your game on my console. I'm logged in. Okay? I don't need to log in again. Leave me alone. I don't want to create a profile on your website. I don't want to track my stats. Let me in your dadgum game. I don't need to do anything else. Like, I don't want to sign up for a magazine. I don't want to get a new credit card. I don't want to ask for, a warranty. And I certainly don't want to have to go log in or remember a dadgum password. So, good job, whoever built that game, that trash pile. People probably couldn't even get in to see how bad it was because they were probably hitting the same thing I was hitting. Emo Boy with a $10 tip. Are you playing Elden Ring on stream? It'd be dope to see your New Game Plus gameplay. So what we want to do is we've rolled over to a brand new game. I didn't like New Game Plus. I found it to be incredibly boring because I was ridiculously strong. It just wasn't fun. It didn't feel like invigorating content. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to go strength build, sword and shield, and we're going to try to play the entire game, every boss, no summons. That's what I want to do. I think that'll be good content. I think it'll be challenging. I think it'll be a great playlist. I think we'll have a great, batch of cool, maybe even recordings we can snag out and say, oh yeah, here's how I finally got this guy no summons, right? Is it Emoji Boy? Oh, it might be Emoji Boy. Sorry. Thank you for the tips, by the way, Emoji Boy. So yeah, I think I want to go strength build, and I think I want to play through everything again. Like, I'm gonna have to. If I want to level and be strong, if I'm gonna beat bosses without summons, I'm gonna have to be very well leveled. Just trying no summons or committing to no summons? No, committing to no summons. I won't even have it equipped, so I don't even want to be able to do it in a moment of rage, right? I don't even want to do it in a moment of rage. I'm not even gonna have summons enabled. I'm not gonna have summons equipped. None of that. No. Are you prepared for the slowness of the strength weapons? I did a strength build all the way until I switched to katanas. I swear I feel like some of you guys did not watch me play Elden Ring. I did a strength-focused build all the way up with the Radon swords. I didn't switch until I went to the katanas. I don't know. And somebody said the other day, they're like, you didn't, you didn't summon all that often. I was like, yes, I did. I summoned on like every boss. I swear some of y'all didn't watch. You didn't. You just showed up for the anger and the rage and paid zero attention to the gameplay. I ran a strength build for like 60% of the game. Yo, the third new member of the day, the Movie Freaker. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope. And you just Reforge Gaming. Enjoy the extra stream on Thursday afternoons and Friday nights. We do members-only content here, but it is extra content. We're not taking away from the core content at all. Excuse me, some of us have to make a living not playing video games. Yeah, but you guys, I don't know. You comment as if you know what I did, and it's like, I don't know. I get somebody saying, I have no idea what you used. I mostly lurked. But some of y'all talk like I did a certain thing, and I'm like, I didn't do that. I said that, Lono says distorted, and you didn't summon for every boss. You summoned mainly on main bosses, which were only a handful of versus the many bosses in the game. Man, I don't know, distorted. I feel like I went into dungeons and just started summoning. It's like, I don't care. I'm just gonna summon. You know what I mean? Looks like we had a blip. Yeah, English says, was that a YouTube blip or something on my end? Let me check something. Yeah, it wasn't on my end. Wasn't bitrate, wasn't CPU, must have been YouTube. You want to do a strength build again? Why not try some magic or archery? So we did a magic build. I tried a magic build, and I really, really didn't like it. I did not like it. If I'm going to go no summons for the entire game, I need to be able to play something that I am very comfortable with. I refreshed, fixed it. I just refreshed and it's fine now. Yeah, we had a huge bump in viewership. Something's going on with the audio. Rolling into New Game Plus, says Chris Lethal, the first thing I did was immediately run outside, right past Bear, and completely emasculated the tree sentinel right out there in front of everyone. It felt great, and then I logged out. Yeah, it didn't... Strength Faith build? I don't know, Anthony. I don't know. It's all good either way, says Distorted. I did lurk for some fights, but you always verbalized when you were summoning, so I'm still pretty confident in remembering. Maybe someone in chat can correct me. Oh, no, I know what happened, Distorted. I stopped saying, that's it, I'm summoning. I stopped saying that. What I started doing was, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like rerunning this area. I don't feel like rerunning or da-da-da-da-da, and I would literally just summon and go in. Once I got Tiche, I think I summoned like 90% of the time, and I didn't even verbalize it. I would just be like, yeah, I would just go in, and I would automatically have Tiche out. No poll today? No, I'm trying to hold off on the polls, Cody Biscuits, because like, I experienced the poll once on mobile, and I thought it was awful. It was really annoying. Like, it's one thing to put it at the top of the chat and make it optional, but, like, it shoves it right in your face, and you can't get around it without voting. I don't like that. New Game Plus is like a victory lap. Try killing the final boss as fast as possible. My record's 2 hours. Yeah, I was bored out of my mind. After I killed Radon, I was like, this is boring. This is super boring. YouTube's mobile experience is pretty terrible. Yeah, and I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best not to make it worse on mobile. It's really pushy. So I'm like, I know it helps us. I really do. I know the polls help because it's just more points of like contact. But right now we are in like such a desperate spiral of like just bad metrics. And I'm like, well, the last thing I want to do is shove anybody away. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If I was running the poll, would it help us? I don't know. YouTube broke search and recommend. So, is the poll really feeding anything right now? Probably not. If once they fix search and once they fix recommend, we'll probably bring the polls back. Could be it then, says Distorted. I'm still looking forward to a completely summonless playthrough. It's much more challenging than I think people give it credit for. Oh yeah. If anything, it's going to be really hard in the beginning and the end. In the middle, maybe not so much. I feel like the game lightens up in the middle, and then it's tough. It's tough in the beginning, and it's going to be really tough in the end. Like fighting Melania without a summons is going to be a real pain in the butt. Yeah, and the duo. Yeah, the Godskin duo. Yep. To be fair, you did not get any of the mid-late game bosses. The earliest game bosses are easy. Well, I summoned on the early bosses. I summoned on Margit, and I summoned on Godric. Lono, what were your top 3 favorite bosses that you've had to choose? I love the big double-headed dragon. I thought the arena was stellar. I loved Godfrey Haraloo, even though I don't think he had enough health. I think my very, very first dragon fight was actually really enjoyable too. I think it was really enjoyable because it took a long time, and I don't know, it had a good feel, even though it took a long time. Now the next couple of times I fought dragons, I didn't like it. I did not like it. It felt too drawn out, too long. Did I say what's up? What's good, Neek James? How are you? There were some areas I wish I didn't summon. Polls only bug you on mobile if you're switching back and forth between apps. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I suppose if they're switching back and forth between apps and they're leaving me on in the background, and if they're doing that, they probably have YouTube Premium, then they're probably unlikely to get annoyed enough to leave. I was trying to do everything I could to make the stream really easy to get into and stay. That was what I was trying to do. I was like, we got to eliminate this. We got to move anything off the table that might be frustrating people. God of War TV show adaptation might be heading to Prime. Really? It's so annoying, says Butters. I have Premium. Yeah, anything to not have to worry about that. I thought I saw a patch note that said the camera won't auto-rotate anymore. Any comment on that? Yeah, I'm going to toggle that off, Zubair. The auto-rotation is super annoying. So, like, if you've ever played a game like Red Dead Redemption or, you know, Horizon Forbidden West, and you're on a mount, and you turn the camera to, like, look beside you while you're riding, and you just kind of leave it there, or, like, to look behind you, it's actually really helpful. This game is constantly fighting you on that front. It's just constantly recentering. Which, what the frick? Stop. You know what I mean? Like, stop it. And so, that was, that was kind of what we were dealing with in some of those areas where I felt like the camera was fighting with me. Had to jump out, but I'm back. What are we talking about? A bunch of different things right now. The camera adjustment in the patch notes. Agreed on the health bar on Godfrey. He probably should have had you deplete the health bar and then have a second one for the second phase. He does get chunked if your output's high enough. Yeah. The camera's really bad in a lot of the fights in this game. I think I rage more at the camera than the fights. Yeah, and the other day we had a big debate about that. And people were like, well, don't use lock-on. Don't use lock-on. I'm like, yeah, but the camera's terrible when you don't use lock-on. It's your fight. Like, sure, the camera breaks when there's lock-on and they're really fast and they do like a fast animation and a fast combo. Sure. But it's also terrible when you turn it off because then it's constantly auto-centering itself. And it's genuinely horrible. It's genuinely awful. Camera is the true endgame boss in FromSoftware games. Right. The absolute most frustrating thing for me was fighting humongous bosses locked on and getting dizzy or just straight up not being able to see anything. Right. Yeah, I was getting ready to schedule Creature. I just thought about that. I was going to schedule it for 45. I think one of my least favorite things on like my desk right now is I have all these cables and I have them like well placed, but because they're slightly still coiled from when they were packaged, they constantly move and get in my way. It's like it's such a unique frustration to be frustrated with something so small and so insignificant. And it's just, I don't know. It's like, get out of my way, bro. I'm going to put us in Halo Infinite for this next one. The beauty of being a gaming streamer on YouTube. They just assume that you need to be in a game. That's my favorite. Do this podcast category or whatever they're looking into. That'd be better. That'd be way better. Just let me select podcast. Okay, we'll go there, and we'll go there. Sounds good, Lono. I will watch your next run. Thank you. Yeah, something that we're going to have to... the Halo BR news coverage is going to have to get bumped to tomorrow. We had a great day planned. We had the Microsoft putting ads in your games, and then we had the Halo Infinite Battle Royale stuff, and then the dadgum Elden Ring patch dropped, and it was like a mile long. I was like, I can't not cover this. It's just going to hijack the morning. Everybody's going to be coming in and be like, why aren't you covering the massive patch? Oh, I'll cover it Friday. Well, by then, no one gives a frig. But we are thinking through Elden Ring. Like, I need to probably be able to play it a couple of times a week, not just Fridays. So we're trying to think through what that looks like. Also, there's folks in the audience that literally won't come here unless we're talking FromSoftware. And, you know, giving you something every other day is probably better than giving you something just once a week. I know it makes it a little bit more... I know it might make it like a little bit more special and rare, but also at the same time, it's like I'm going to play terribly if I keep waiting a week to jump back in. No, the audio was blipping for other people. They had to refresh, Donovan. You might have walked away and come back, and now you're experiencing it. If you're just tuning in for the Elden Ring patch coverage, we looked through all of the buffs and the nerfs and everything. My general contention is they are trying to speed this game up with a lot of the changes that they made. A lot of this is because the game is very fast. Some had said that it's very much like you're fighting bosses from Bloodborne or from Sekiro, and have said that they feel like certain builds and certain weapons are just hugely out of sync. And I don't know. I think this change is aiming at some of that. Not explicitly, like that's not what it's all about. But I do think some of it is 100% rooted in that. Like the idea of certain builds are just too slow to keep up with the end game. So, and guys, we've continued to mention this, and again, I know it sounds kind of weird, but we have discovered that like streaming on TikTok is like taking off, and we would probably be a pretty high quality stream over there. I have figured out how to send my mixer and audio through my phone so that it would sound really good over there. And if you use that app, we would love for you to throw us a follow. We can't do live streams over there until we hit 1,000 followers. So just go follow Reforge TV. There is an imposter over there. Report him for impersonation or harassment or spam. There's somebody over there that's not me. I'm Reforge TV. He's like used the name and like added a number to it or something. If you see that one, don't worry about it. Just report, block, and move on. But at Reforge TV is over there, and we're gonna probably try and get into contact with somebody at TikTok. I've got somebody who has a contact to hopefully take care of that guy. Because he's completely misusing the platform. That's not what it's for. Is YouTube still hurting you not being noticed? Seems like today had a big turnout. Well, yeah, when we do Elden Ring, we do just fine. Is he just reposting? Yeah, he's just reposting content he has no rights to. So I'm also considering getting on the phone with my lawyer about it, because he just keeps reposting content he has no rights to, and it's just a freaking night. It's just annoying. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to just repost people's content. So we're looking into it because it's actionable. It's something you can take action against civilly. I'll take a look at TikTok on my computer tomorrow. I don't want the app on my phone. No, I understand. If Halo BR had dropped now, then that discussion would be more important. Oh, for sure. Are you Reforge TV or do you work for someone else? Just out of curiosity. No, it's my brand. We put everything under the brand of Reforge. So we've got Reforge Gaming, we've got Reforge Radio, and when we're on the social apps, we just put everything under Reforge TV. Because we might throw gaming clips there. We might throw, some of the talk show radio stuff over there. So we put everything under Reforge TV on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So, in what cases it fall under fair use versus harassment? Well, you can't. Fair use does not allow you to repost people's content. You can't just go steal a person's video and repost it. That you can't do that. Fair use would mean you've got to you have to get out an editing tool. It has to be derivative. You've got to transform it. You know what I mean? That makes me happy. I'm glad you aren't working for some corporate affiliate. Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody think that? That'd be kind of weird for people to think that. Yeah, I don't work for some corporation. Lies, he works for me. Don't lie, you work for Madam. Yeah, Madam is the boss. That's right. Facebook and Insta already trying to make me watch high schools dancing. Well, the thing with TikTok is if you start consuming a certain kind of content, that's all you see. So all I see now is like Jordan Peterson, pastors and preachers, ASMR, and these dudes that make these like clay pots. Like that's all I see over there. Like these really cool Asian dudes that make these clay pottery. That's all I see. So it depends on if you start, like, TikTok is super fast at curating what you get. Because if you went over there and started searching for stand-up comedy is over there all over the place. I saw a Jim Gaffigan clip the other day. So, you know, Instagram's the same way. Just start searching for stuff and then that's all you're going to get. I searched for Stranger Things like one time. And then my entire feed was Stranger Things clips, memes, and Millie Bobby Brown. Like that's all my Instagram was. Takes 15 minutes to get it to you. What? The algorithm's kind of janky. Pigeonholes you a little too much. Oh, if you only cover... Yeah, people that like want me to cover only FromSoftware games or only cover Elden Ring. Yeah, there's just a real dilemma there. Number one, I just don't think I could do that long term. I like circling back to the game. I like the games, and I like FromSoftware being a consistent presence here. And so we do think that, like, hey, periodically, you know, maybe we should do a third stream and say, hey, guys, you know, for the next hour to 2 hours, we're going to do a third stream and just work on our playthrough. We're going to work on our No Summons playthrough. We're trying to think through that, you know, because it's like, Creature keeps saying it has no future, which I still think is a hilarious posture to take, given we have created an entire day playing old FromSoftware games. Like, before Elden Ring came out, we grew the channel with old FromSoftware games. Like, really old FromSoftware games. So saying it has no future, I still think that's too simplistic of a view of what you can do with that particular development funnel. It'll fall to the wayside. You can't plant a flag in it. Yeah, again, I just fundamentally disagree. I feel like we have planted a flag in FromSoftware more successfully than any other, more successfully than New World, and more successfully than Lost Ark. And we did it with really old games. So imagine, rewind the clock 3 years when we have been saying that about Sekiro and Dark Souls. No future, no future, no future. 3 and 4 years later after their launch, we literally created a playlist in a day and grew an audience, and, you know, and then when Elden Ring landed, we, you know, grew a bunch more of that audience. Like, I don't know. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Lono Creature is right. Yeah, okay. Those games have staying power for that audience. Right, which is why I don't want to become a FromSoftware channel, but I also think being like, hey, instead of making you wait 8 days to see FromSoftware again, you know, we'll add it 1 or 2 more times a week just to work on the series. You also have to consider, I can't not touch the game for 8 days and expect to do well. That's going to be terrible. That's what made the Dark Souls 3 and the Sekiro playthroughs so tough. I didn't touch it for 8 days. Yo, Gritter with a $5 tip. Good morning, Lono. You ever thought about doing a community stream in Elden Ring? We've thought about it. Maybe we'll do a community game night with it. I don't know. It's so hard right now because there's a delicate balance between doing too much of Elden Ring and not doing enough. I don't think once a week is enough. But I also don't think we want to do it every day. Like, there's somewhere in between that. There's somewhere in between only doing it on Friday, I think is a mistake. Doing it every day is also a mistake. So I don't think you can, I think you got to find a middle ground. And somewhere somewhere in the middle, I think there is maybe community, you know, playing with the community or something. When he says no future, what he's meaning is you can't think like, oh, we're going to be an Elden Ring channel, because in 5 years, what are you going to cover? He's not thinking about the next 6 months. He's thinking about the next 5 years. So when he says it has no future, he's right to a point, right? He's correct. To a certain degree, if you try to become an Elden Ring channel, you're gonna run out of stuff to do. Eventually, there'll be no new builds, no new challenges, no new runs. No one's going to care about your 25th run, and you're like, well, this time we're going to do no magic, naked with a stick. Like, eventually you run out of content. So I think it's somewhere in the middle. I think only relegating it to Friday is going to hurt the gameplay, and I think doing it every day is going to hurt the channel. So we've got to find a middle ground. Because the other thing you have to consider is, if you tell a large portion of your user base, yeah, don't click on the channel for 8 days, that's not good either. That's not good either. It's like they only click on Friday, and then eventually, if they don't click for the next 6 or 7 days, they might stop seeing the Friday stuff as well. Because Friday's turnout got weak, and I think it got weak because we broke, and they didn't click for a couple of days, and they didn't see us on Friday. So, most games, most people can play, but FromSoft games, a lot of people aren't willing to or aren't skilled enough to play them. So people like to live vicariously through them. Oh no, for sure. And that's why I think playing a really old game like Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro helped us build an entire playlist. Why? Well, because those games have a future. They have a certain type of future, but they don't have a future that you can build a channel around. But they have a future that you can build like an audience and a segment around, right? And so that's what we did. And I think now it's like, okay, we got good response. We've got a lot of people that dig this. How do we navigate this without going off into a ditch? Once a week, I think, is a ditch. Every day is a ditch. We've got to get somewhere in the middle to where we're not ignoring that portion of the audience and the gameplay, and then I start sucking, right? We can't ignore that for 7 days, but we also can't be like, hey guys, Elden Ring again today, right? There's a middle road here that we're trying to find while still covering mostly variety gaming news. A $10 tip from Emoji Boy. How about Elden Ring on your typical Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday? You can do other content. Well, I appreciate the $10 tip. I don't even think it's like that. I don't even think it's like that. I don't think we have to create a false dichotomy where we say, hey, we're either covering variety gaming news or we're covering Elden Ring. Like, what I'm talking about doing is we would still cover variety gaming news. Like, imagine today, I'll give you an example. So this is what today would have looked like. We would have done Microsoft putting ads in your games. We would have covered Halo Infinite Battle Royale, and we would have made both those streams a little shorter, 2 hours each, and then we would have done 2 hours of Elden Ring. So you'd have gotten bam, 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 3 quick shows, and then I get to plug away at my Elden Ring gameplay. And then the next day, we wouldn't do that. We would just do 2 talk shows. So what I'm saying is periodically, we would either do 2 talk shows and a quick playthrough, or we would do 1 talk show and a playthrough. It's not like we wouldn't cover variety gaming news because, I'm going to play Elden Ring. I'm talking about like sprinkling it throughout the week so I don't lose my edge and we don't lose the From guys. Because I think over time we'll lose the From guys just because they're not clicking. I didn't click for 7 days. I didn't even see you were live on Friday. Because they're so committed to From, they're going to get plenty of other From creators during the week, and then those people will supplant us. Because think about it, right? If you're clicking other From guys Saturday to Thursday, and then I hit live on Friday, you might not see me. Why? Because YouTube thinks you've kind of moved on. It's literally that quick. It's not slow. It's like, hey, you didn't watch this guy for 6 or 7 days. No, we won't be playing any Elden Ring today. I wasn't set up for it. We weren't even going to cover it today. We were going to cover our next stream that's coming up in a little bit is about Microsoft putting ads in their games, and then we're going to go over to Reforge Radio to do our radio show. I was going to cover Microsoft putting ads in your games and Halo Infinite Battle Royale info, but then friggin' FromSoftware dropped this giant novel this morning, and I was like, we either cover this today or no one cares about it by the time we get to Friday. There was no choice. 2 hours of Elden Ring is like 20 minutes. Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, we're chiseling away at it. So think about it. If I'm playing strength and I'm trying to level, you can get a lot done in 2 hours. You can go wander around, do a couple dungeons, get some levels, clear some of the map, get some stuff done. I'm not talking about doing a boss every time. That won't work. The Microsoft stream is going to get spicy. I better find some Tums. Yeah. When is the next game releasing that will even be half as big as Elden Ring that has as much content? Starfield, maybe? I can't think of many. Yeah, because God of War Ragnarok will be a straight linear playthrough. There won't be much to do with it other than beat it. YouTube is just like the blacksmith master Hugh. You leave for an hour, and they're like, I took you for dead. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, I think we just don't want to overcorrect, right? It's like, oh man, we covered Elden Ring so much and so long, we got to start covering other stuff. And if we overcorrect, those people are gonna be like, man, what happened? You're barely talking about this game. You're barely covering this game. So I think we're should take maybe a slightly more gradual approach. And the patch notes today kind of help with that. We got to kind of revisit the game a little earlier than we had planned. Emoji Boy with another $5 tip. Being a YouTuber sounds tough. I thought it was the easiest job in the world. No. 80 or 90 hours a week for volatile income and up and down metric. No. It's super fun and super satisfying, but no. I thought God of War 2018 was rubbish. Not looking forward to Ragnarok. Why'd you think it was rubbish? Like, what about it did you not like? Did you compare it? Did you compare it to like other action adventure games? This next run, Lono, you and I both need to do the FIA full quest line. I think there were a few others we both missed, as well as you need to do Maleficent's to get the needle as well to save the cheerleader. Yeah, we can be a little bit more exhausted with this playthrough for sure. Yeah, for sure. Hogwarts Legacy might be cool. Well, here's what we're going to do with most games. Like, you guys will probably pick up on this. I mean, we did it with Horizon Forbidden West. We'll throw ourselves into a game, we'll squeeze the dickens out of it, and then we'll leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to be playing most of these games longer than like a week to a week and a half. At most, if we're crushing it, 2 weeks, and then we'll be done. Gonna try a mage? No. We're gonna try a strength build with a shield. That's what I'm most comfortable with. Because if we're gonna do the entire game, every boss, no summons, I need to be on a build that I'm comfortable with. And mage and magic just, it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't feel natural for me. I'm not sure if you're into WoW, but new content dropped today. Yeah, I'm not into WoW. I think for me, a lot of the Elden Ring stuff is after I've already beaten it and done a few playthroughs. I don't really care about it until DLC happens. Yeah, a lot of people definitely put it down until there's some DLC. Everybody's along a spectrum, right? And that's why I don't think you should go into an extreme, right? If you go into an extreme, you're like Elden Ring every day or Elden Ring only on Fridays. I think that's an extreme. And there's different people. There's people that are like, I don't care about it until there's DLC. There's people that are like, I only want to watch this. There are viewers that would say, I actually only want variety gaming news coverage. Or there are people that would say, I really like when you cover Microsoft and Halo, but not anything else. What you're trying to do is you're trying to have enough of all these different, colors cascading and overlapping. So no matter what you cover, you get a pretty good turnout. And I think last week we proved that. Even YouTube was broken and is still broken for us. Like, our channel is broken. Search is busted. And we still had really good turnout every day. Well, that's great. That's really good proof that we're not getting to one-string banjo. When YouTube is broken and I'm getting into the 300s basically every day, 300 some odd viewers, that's a great, great core group. It was frustrating, and I did my absolute best not to complain. A couple of days I did. I got irritated. But we figured out what happened, and now it's a waiting game. We got to wait for YouTube to fix. There's 2 features they got to fix that kind of broke 3 of our 4 channels. I'm going to show for everything, and you're going to like it. Oh, I am going to like it. I am. I'm really going to like it. I've had the game for just over 2 weeks, and I've just beat Renala. With work, family, I don't get to play as much as I want. I'm going to get months and months out of this game. Oh, Irene, if you take this game, yeah. If you take your time in Elden Ring, if you play exhaustive and clear the map, you play this dadgum game for a year. You know what I mean? You play for a year. Especially if you do all that and then you want to do some new game. You know? Well, that got awkward. What? What does it matter? I didn't do anything. You could do 2 2-hour streams and then the 3-hour From Friday stream where you do a boss. That's not a bad idea, Saxboy. Like, spend the week prepping and then Friday's the boss. Right? That's not a bad idea. So, like, do everything I possibly can during those 2 streams. And then it's like, all right, guys, let's go see what we can do against Margit. You know? Let's see how this goes. And then if we beat Margit, we just do the same thing. We're like, all right, let's just go prep. Let's just go get ready for, you know, the Academy or, you know, whoever, Renala. Still opposed to jumping into Final Fantasy? I can't jump into Final Fantasy. MMOs are good for us for about a week when they're new. If they're established, it's just a complete and utter waste of time. There's too many creators that are already covering it. Like, no one wants my casual coverage of a well-established MMO. A new MMO? Sure. People want to see the new stuff. People want to see what it's like. How does it play for a casual player? How does it play for a more laid-back player like Lono? Cool. That's helpful info. Lono jumping into a well-established MMO? Nobody. What the frick good is that? Like, I'll just think pragmatically. Like, can I make good content from this? No, not really. It's well-established content. There's plenty of guides. There's plenty of if you're a first-timer. There's plenty of beginner's guides. And I'm going to play it for a couple of days and put it down. My first character took me to 165 hours to clear the game because I was exploring everything. Almost 7 days of playing. That's great. Yeah, 165 hours is really good. That's so much game time. Lost Ark or WoW or time sinkholes? Lost Ark seemed like it was going to be really good to play casually, get a controller, play with the community, build a community, cover the game, you know, dive in when there's updates, but it just was timed really poorly. It was just timed really poorly because it came out and then Horizon dropped and then Elden Ring dropped and it was like, oh, what are we going to do with that game? We can't go back. We're so far behind on everything. MMOs are too much grind. Yeah, the guys that cover MMOs are traditionally... They're more traditional as YouTubers as well. Like, a lot of what they do is upload, so they can spend a lot of time out, you know, just playing. You can't really do that. You can't really do that if you're a live streamer. You got to kind of live in front of the audience, which means you got to kind of play in front of the audience, which means you got to dedicate a lot of your live time to playing, and I simply can't do that. It just isn't possible, you know? It was great. We got into New World. We got into Lost Ark. We showed you guys all the great stuff. Set up some stuff and some guilds if you guys wanted to get it and play it and enjoy it. And then kind of like a top, right? We spun it up and then kind of had to let it go, you know? It's just what I did with Destiny is virtually impossible. Like, if we could get 2 other Destiny-style games to launch, games that are super fun, great content loop, and they're grindy, but they're not built like a more traditional MMO. When they're built like a more traditional MMO, it's like, I'm going to run out of gas. Why? I can't keep up with anybody. And I certainly can't dedicate that much live time. Hey guys, let's play New World today for 6 hours, you know, or this game for 6 hours. There's just no room for that in our format. You got to think every month we're adding more people to the channel that dig the talk show. And the minute you walk away from that, and the minute you're doing like grindy, lengthy MMO gameplay, people are going to be like, dude, what is this? This is not what this channel was about. And your next playthrough of Elden Ring, since you're not going to do spells, would you try looking into crafting and using consumables to buff or do damage? Yeah, I think I'll look into that a little bit. I don't like consumables on principle. I don't like having sunk costs in a fight. That's annoying. I don't. It started to bother me in Sekiro, and so I stopped using things that didn't replenish on death because it added to the frustration. I don't like adding sunk cost to a boss fight. It adds a layer of frustration that I don't enjoy. Co-streaming during Elden Ring was fun. What do you mean co-streaming? Like when they did the reveals? Elden Ring is massive. Every time I thought I had exhausted the map, a new area popped up. Oh yeah. A tough mix of MMO and streaming is that there will always be streamers who can and will dedicate 10-hour sessions to grinding. Right, like if that's what you're known for, you know what I mean? If you're Asmongold or you're those guys, it's like you can just do that. And the other thing to consider is we were in a unique position in Destiny. Like, Destiny content would come out. I would do a week of 16-hour streams. I hated every minute of it. I would get ahead of the curve and get raid ready, and then I would coast for the rest of the season. Well, how many games am I going to be able to do that with? Well, actually, it doesn't even matter. I can't do that now, and I won't. I'm not going to do a week of 16-hour stream days to grind some game so I can coast after. The only reason you would do that is if you were centered around that game, which we're not doing. So, like, even in Destiny, we cannot ignore the gameplay rhythm that I did. The gameplay rhythm was so unique, and I would say to my wife and family, hey, this is the launch week of a new season or DLC. I'm going to be literally downstairs breakfast to dinner to bed for the rest of this week, and then the raid would drop, and then after that it was back to normal stream times. I could just coast and work on stuff and do the talk show. But that's all we did. Like, we're not there. We're not there at all. This is primarily a video game talk show, so you can't dedicate... That live time is so valuable. It's super valuable. Anthony Panita with a $5 tip. I'm 200 hours into Elden Ring. Still haven't beat the game. My OCD forces me to go collect all the items and do as much quests as possible. Have you done any quests? I did a couple of quests, yes. I both like the quests and dislike the quests equally. Like, I love and hate them. I love them because they're cool, they're mysterious, and they're neat, and there's cool lore. I hate them because I have no idea what ones I'm working on, where I am with them, where I'm supposed to go. Like, the mystery and the intrigue and the cool factor is equally annoying. It's like, just frickin' tell me where to go, you know? But then at the same time, I'm like, I love that it's mysterious and crazy and people stumble upon a quest or stumble upon something that leads to the next part and like, oh, I forgot about this. So it's like, I love it as much as I hate it. It's like, it's cool, but it's also really annoying, if that makes sense. You didn't enjoy getting an artifact to plus 15 to go into an activity that essentially drops your level by 25? Yeah, I don't miss that. I don't actually miss that game anymore. I don't. I miss the simplicity. There was some simplicity about that. I was talking to a guy about that the other night. He's a pilot for UPS. And I was like, there is a simplicity to having a task-oriented job. You go do that task, and you're good at it, and that's it. And then you go home, and that's the end of it, right? I am in a performance-oriented industry. If I'm in a bad mood, if I'm tired, if I'm stuffed up, if I'm grumpy, if you're kind of grumpy or annoyed, you can go fly a plane. You know, you can go trim hedges and mow lawns. You put some headphones on, just ignore the world. I can't do that. It's like, well, no. You got to power through, buddy. You got to power through. Yeah, sales, dealing with the public. Exactly. If you're grumpy, you're in a bad mood, you don't feel well, suck it up, buttercup. You're performance-oriented. You got to perform. You got to interact with the public. You got to be friendly. You got to be nice. You got to qualify the customer. You got to be, build rapport. You got to hit your numbers. Blech. So, like, I love what I do, but, dude, if you have a task-oriented job, if you think it's drudgery, if you think it's mundane, if you think it's tedious, man, be encouraged. There is some simplistic beauty in having a very, very nice task-oriented job that you're good at. You just do it, clock out, and go home. There's something nice about that. So enjoy it, man. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, there's pluses and there's minuses. Try to enjoy the pluses as much as you can. You know what I mean? If you can channel the grumpiness into some epic rants, it'll be entertaining. Oh, I definitely do that. Your job requires a lot of emotional work. Yeah. I'm telling you, I told you guys this the other day. I'm going to give you guys an inside scoop into what the Thursday stream was like. It was a members-only stream. And I get pretty candid in those streams. So if you're not a member, that's maybe a motivation to consider doing a membership. I get pretty candid. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek. I said that streaming FromSoftware games is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in the live environment. It's harder than when I was lead host on main stage E3 and interviewing big developers and having to look at the camera and just launch into like the live environment of being the lead host on a main stage, right? It's actually harder to stream a FromSoftware game than to do that. I would rather do that and be like interviewing Phil Spencer, main stage, lots of lights, thousands and hundreds of thousands of viewers. I'd rather do that. Not that I'd rather do that. It would be easier to do that than stream a FromSoftware game. Streaming a FromSoftware game is ridiculously hard. Speaking of members only, remember them salt shakers? Yeah, guys, salt shakers. Am I right? Am I right, guys? It's so stupid. There's multiple layers of stupidity in that, and the humor of salt shakers. Am I right, guys? You got to be a member and go watch the VOD to understand the joke. But I opened up and I said, dude, I'm going to tell you something right now. Streaming FromSoftware games is the hardest thing you can do. I genuinely think that it's the hardest thing. It is the absolute hardest thing to do in the live environment. It is very, very, very challenging. So, and thanks to everybody who threw us a follow on TikTok. Reforge TV now has 852 followers. Thank you. We're getting close to that 1,000 mark. Once we hit 1,000, I'll stop pestering you guys about it. I'm dead serious. I just need the 1,000 followers so we can try out the live streaming to see if it's worth it. It's so meta, it hurts. It's great. Very meta. Why are you so salty? Right. All right. Give me a second. So we almost never hit ads on the channel. That's why we try to offer memberships. We primarily live off of super chats, membership, and coffee orders. Okay, we don't run ads here. We just don't. It's too disruptive to the live environment, but I do run them when I take a break. So consider ordering some coffee. There's a link below in the description, or you can use the coffee command. There's the join button and the join command as well, !join or !coffee. Consider doing those ways to support the channel. And again, you get into the members only content. And don't forget about Community Game Night this Friday night. If you're going to want to take part in Community Game Night this Friday night, get Fortnite installed on your preferred platform and get it updated. I know you might not like Fortnite, but we're all just going to be playing together, doing no build squads. Members only Friday nights are either me playing with my wife, having drinks and laughing, or playing games with you, all right? So I'm going to hit some ads and take a break. When we get back, we are shifting gears to our second show. Microsoft's going to be putting ads in your games. What the frick does this mean? And is it affected by Game Pass and free game economy and culture? Or is it just Microsoft being savvy? We're breaking it down. I need all you fanboys, all you PS5 and Xbox fanboys, to get your tools sharp and ready. We're going to be battling. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, and smash the like button. We only need a couple more likes for 400. I'll be right back. All right, let's see if we can find a Microsoft Game Pass wallpaper. Xbox Game Pass wallpaper. Looks like they got it at bigmadmo.com's got one. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Mo. Okay, hang on. Let's do that, and then let's look for a large version. PhilJr.com. Yeah. Can you just put Mo's profile pic? Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. Mo's loading up for the next show. He's like, gonna learn today. He's gonna hurt me. Could we get 12 more likes on this video? Could we get it? I don't like doing like 18 calls to action, but like we got a lot of stuff we're trying to do. We're trying to sell coffee, trying to get members, trying to get likes. Do it. Do it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, a call to action? I'm out. Yeah. All right, let's get this tweet sent. Here we go. Xbox Game Pass placing ads in games. It's coming. It's happening. Okay, let me go ahead and here to analytics. And that way I can stream. It's just a little shortcut button. All right, I'm going to put a link in chat of where we're going just in case the redirect doesn't work. Redirect's been kind of squirrely. So it seems like the longer I wait, the better redirect typically works. It's the angle and this stupid foam in the background. My hair looks exactly how I want in the mirror, and then I get down here and it looks different. It's so freaking annoying. I'm like, that's not what it looked like 2 minutes ago. Anywhere else on YouTube you can see this many members in a chat that's not members only? Yeah, I know. Sometimes I wonder if people think it's a members only chat. Like, maybe I should start saying that more often. Like, you just have to be a subscriber to talk in my chat. I wonder if people see all the green and that's what they think. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming News covering Xbox Game Pass placing ads in your games. What is going on? What's the research behind this? Why would they do this? Is this more signs that Game Pass could be affecting gaming in a pretty significant way? If you miss a live stream, hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my episodes. If you're subbed to the channel and you haven't been seeing my live streams, always make sure to check the subscription feed and my channel. We stream every day, 2 shows a day. Just this morning, we went over the Elden Ring patch notes. So be sure to do that. YouTube made some adjustments.